Now we're going live. Honey ho, we're live.
Hello.
Possibly. We
Maybe.
think so. YouTube's doing this thing where they're constantly changing the stream keys on us again. So, allegedly we're live. We got 43 people, 45. We got Chaka, Joe Smith and the Friends Network, Freddie Huntermark, Gravis 2000, Frank Landgraf. Who else we got in here? Bumble Blimfield, Owens Jeep Stuff,
Hey, Owens Jeep stuff.
Mr. Spartacus, Ronald Smith, Zaphiel, of course, James Green, D-Diz, hey, Die. Sorry, Die.
He gets my name wrong too sometimes.
Groovejet, and Gary, and Javier Estrada with the $2. Hey,
where's
guys,
my
how
bell?
you been? I hid your
Where's
bell.
my bell?
You don't get a bell. No bell for you. Donna Raw paid me off to hide the bell. It's behind the flashlight. It's right in front of you.
I'm going to bite you.
Where you left it.
It's hiding behind the hand sanitizer.
Mike Schmitz, Rude Mopar Dude, Morrow, Landon Ashby, and Silem. And all right, do your belly bell thing there.
This is for Javier, correct?
Yes.
$2. It says, hey guys, how you been? We've been really good. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Daughter Rod, just be glad you're not in the same room. What's up, everybody? A beautiful sunset up here in Wisconsin, Gary says.
I thought you'd lost your mind. I'm like, honey, we are not in Wisconsin. We are in Las Vegas.
Mario says, I know you ditched Patreon a while back for good reason. Have you considered Subscribe Star? They only take 3% as opposed to Patreon's 5%. Patreon takes more than 5. Patreon takes 20-something or whatever, unless they changed it. We use YouTube's the YouTube subscriber thing, because as you see right below your post, Donna Raw there, she's a monthly subscriber and she gets to get that little bear icon behind him, so it's easier for me to give you benefits and for you to show off your flair and whatnot here. Jennifer White Wolf in the house, how's it going?
Hey.
Mark Sparks says he's only 3 feet away. Did you guys not notice where it says?
Please stay
6
back.
feet. Stay back, please. 6 feet. We're social distancing. And speaking of social distancing, you're past my comfort zone. You need to move your giraffe butt over there.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Let's see here. What else? Owens Jeep Stuff says, good evening, Bear family. Hope you and the Cubs are well. We are. We're all doing pretty good, actually. Southern Indiana Poet says he's from Southern Indiana. Howdy. Roswell, New Mexico, of course, in the house. You were saying, dear?
That homily 665 says, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. Wahaha. Okay, I added that last part. But yes, hello. I hope things are going well with your home. I know you're always working on it. Jim says giraffe. Why, yes, I am a giraffe. Although I have to say I think they're called antlers. No, they're called horns. I can't see myself because someone's playing musical screen, but it's delayed. So yeah, one of my horns is a little...
Well, I'm trying to sit up so you can have a chat window over here.
It's a little cattywampus.
You're a little bit cattywampus.
But yes, you are correct. I am a giraffe, as the children would call it.
Oh, giraffe.
And it is one of their favorite animals. I think it's one of the animals that they fed for the first time when they were little.
It is. I remember that at the zoo.
Yes, Eleanor was super into it. Griffin was pretty sure the giraffe was going to eat him. But that was kind of his feeling about life for like the first 4 years.
It still is. Let's be fair.
Pretty sure that everything was going to eat him, including you. Sometimes.
Yeah, most times.
He definitely thought the Easter Bunny was going to eat him.
I do this thing to test the kids. I'll walk into a room. I'll be like, what are you doing? And they'll stop and they'll freeze. And you can see their little minds going, tick, 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 tick. They're like, nothing. I'm good. That's the older ones. Eleanor's usually the fastest. Duncan's right close. Considering he's older, he should be. They'll go through and they're like, okay, I've done this. All right, I'm good. But Griffin will still sit there, deer in headlights. Trying to teach them to think on their feet.
Yes, because we have taught them what? When people are scared,
They panic.
The first
make
thing
bad
they
choices.
do is they stop thinking.
Yep.
So I am a little all over the place with the chat, but I just saw something from Terry. Terry said that you got laid off today.
Oh.
So I am super sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I know that is definitely a reality for a lot of people.
Even when you know what's coming or you have a good idea, because I've been laid off many a time, and I'll be honest, and half the time it was me doing it to myself. But we just get to that point where it never feels good, especially when you have to go home and tell the missus.
Yes, I have to say the first time you called me with that, I was not a happy camper. I was not a happy giraffe.
And then she was sitting there for the next week going, why aren't you panicking? Why aren't you panicking?
Yes.
I'm like,
yes.
First time? Yeah.
Yes. Moro S., welcome to our den.
Moro, ooh, new member.
Bing, 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 bing. Thank you, new member. So, sorry, I feel like, what?
No, I'm just staring at you, making you uncomfortable. What'd you do?
Great. Yep.
And Silent mentions that seeing the cute hats on the missuses, that he enjoys that.
Well, I have to say, Eleanor has been helping me. A lot of times I pick them out myself, but Daughter of Ra sent us a huge, great package of all of these different amazing
Makes it a little easier, doesn't it?
headdresses, and Eleanor gets super tickled when she gets to pick them out. So she picked and picked and picked, and she's like, this is the one. So.
Thinking Time says, greeting from Chicago.
Groovejet is with us again. I am convinced that you do not sleep, my friend. I don't know what time it is, and I don't really sleep either. I wake up at random times, so I hope you're getting enough, though.
And we're going to be going to bed early tonight, so we can jump up early.
That's what I'm telling everyone. I'm guessing that I probably won't get a lot of sleep.
No, you're not going to go to bed at all?
I don't know if at all, but like a couple hours.
I might take a nap in the afternoon. So we've been doing the stock market challenge, and it's a big weekend. So we got to be awake and prepared, seeing how the other markets do, getting ready for market open at 6:30 our time.
Right.
Tomorrow morning.
And normally, early morning is my time to do what is needed. But because the kids are doing school from home, I have to get up super early so that I can plan all of that out and review their work before we go live at 6:30?
Yeah, because this week they actually have to be getting work done.
Yes. Eleanor, that says dinosaurs. I don't know if people can see that. She's done some really awesome, amazing work. She seems to be in a green period right now.
I was just going to say, this is her current mood.
Yes.
No, I just like dinosaurs.
Okay, well, what's the other one? I don't want...
No, I want cookies.
What does it say? I want...
I want a friend.
Daughter Ross says, Bear, don't get me in trouble. I have pumpkin bread shipping soon.
That's right.
She made banana from scratch banana cake. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's gone.
Can I eat it?
No, that is for...
Amanda?
Yes.
Landon Ashby says, I'm over 40. I get everyone's name wrong. I'm like, people have names?
Yes on the cake?
That is no on the cake. It is for Amanda.
Dang it.
Jacob says, stay safe out there. We will. Matt says, good evening, Tool Bear family. Gorgeous day here in the Ozarks. Oh, I love the Ozarks. Di says, I have my antivirus software running. Nice. That'll keep you safe.
That's good.
And Silence says, I'm way more than 6 feet away. I'm 720 feet away, give or take. Well, as long as you're playing it safe. Better safe than sorry. And Terry, again, we are sorry to hear the bad news. Troy says, how's it going? I see Harbor Freight finally released the Earthquake 20-volt grease gun. Yeah, finally. I'm really glad to see them expanding the line. I hope I see a whole bunch more stuff. I got to tell you, they sent me pictures of the new stuff coming out for Hercules. It looks amazing. Stuff I didn't even know about. Stuff I haven't told you or even hinted about. Just some really killer stuff. And then I was told that if I showed it to you, I would promptly be a doormat. Not even a full-size rug. Just a doormat. And I'm like, this stuff looks great. When are you shipping it? Will I still be alive when it ships? They didn't think that was funny. Texas Not So Slim. Thanks for posting so much content. It does help with the beardom. Good job on the floor jack content today. Stay safe. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Daughter of Rock, cover your ears. 3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you so much.
I forgot to grab my safety equipment, my personal safety equipment.
Yep. Ronald Smith says you're married. The 6 foot rule does not apply. She's going to be all over you. Same thing with the family and the the Labrador.
Labrador.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
That dog has found out that banana. What is it?
Is
banana
even better
cake.
than pumpkin bread.
No, I don't know if she thinks it's better than pumpkin bread. She
don't
might.
know. I think
she had a look in her face like she was gonna mug me.
Yep.
I gave her one bite, thought that would, appease her. I turned around, that dog was up on top of me going, looks like you have enough there for two.
Yeah. She was
Like, oh my
definitely
gosh.
not.
She was
adhering to
in my
social-
personal space.
Yeah. She was like, I'd like to be in your cake. Like, no, I don't care that it's in your mouth. I'm happy to go in there and get it. It sounds delicious.
Nick says, hey guys, new Craftsman Tools versus Tecton. Tecton all day long and twice on Sundays. Why Pop, how's everyone doing? We're doing good. How are you doing, sir? And Ray Nirvana says, hey everyone.
Scott Hayden says, hello from Louisiana, aka Corona Central. I have heard that.
Where's that?
Louisiana. Like
yeah, New Orleans is getting hit hard. Yeah. I don't know about the rest of, but the greater metropolitan area, if you will. DR Falcon says, hey guys, I'm in Ohio, no computer, so just watching tonight. Hey, Mr. Falcon, you take care. Sorry you're in Ohio. I used to live in Ohio.
Don't listen to him. Eleanor's dream is to go to Ohio. I would love to go to Ohio. Actually, I might have been to Ohio.
Ed, the old tech guy. Hey, Bears. Hey, family.
Hey.
Good evening. Hope to see you all. Hey, by the way, if you haven't seen it, you got to go check out Joe Smith's channel. He did an interview. He does the behind-the-scenes thing.
Yep.
Where he interviews YouTubers and stuff. He's interviewed me. He's interviewed several other YouTubers. He recently, this past weekend, last Friday, interviewed Ed, the old tech guy. And next week, he's putting in the hot seat the giraffe herself.
That's
the Mrs.
me.
Her. So if you want to find out all the real scoop on where she comes from and how she ended up in this crazy family, you can go subscribe to Joe Smith's channel and check it out. That should be fun.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be in the other room on chat asking you all sorts of heinous questions. I'll have to set up a fake account.
Uh-huh.
Michael Chesney says, Guy, your email the other day, thanks for the kind words about my LiPo battery adaptation to Pocket Scope project. Ran for 4 hours on 45 minutes on AAA's. It runs for less than an hour. Yeah, that was a great set. I absolutely love those kind of setups with the 3D printing, finding real world solutions that allows you to not just fix a problem, but even create a better solution than original. Nick Hoffman for the Emperor. Maro says, I just joined. Love your channel. I've been watching for a long time. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Is your garage air conditioned? Yet. No, it's not.
No.
Which is part of the reason why we escape in the summer and go up to Montana.
When the warmness happens. I will be right back. My phone is going to die, and that's how I'm reading the comments. So I will be right back with the charger. I'm going to take my phone so I can see you talking.
Colin, I said I did read this one before. Hello from Chicago. If not, hello. Ed the Tech guy says, when I was laid off, the only positive was seeing the family rally around me to let me know that we would make it. Not to worry, we'll all make it. Still brings a tear to my eye. Here's the worst part. In my past industry, when I got laid off, I generally had to keep working because I was the guy who would go out and get the money and get the contracts. So if I'm not actually working, there's no comeback from that. What's up, little princess?
It's supposed to be a giraffe onesie on a person.
A giraffe onesie on a person. That's adorable. Are you two going to be able to migrate to Montana this year because of recent events in the news? I have every intention of going. Unless they do a full federal lockdown, nothing's going to stop me. And even if they do that, I know back roads. How far are we from an economic recession? You know what? It's entirely up to the virus. If they come up with a reasonable cure, or a cure or a vaccine in a reasonable amount of time, if the summer and humidity has a strong impact on the virus, as in taking it down a notch, which people do believe that it will, by all studies that I've read, it doesn't do well in heat. And it doesn't do well in humidity. Heat kills it on a surface, and humidity drags it down out of the air, thus almost negating its transmission ability. So either a vaccine, heat and humidity, and then the third one would be rapid testing. They're coming out with these 5 to 15 minute tests. If they can get those rolled out and people can test quickly and test inexpensively, then they can test whole swaths of people and be able to isolate and identify. And the other one is if they come out with home testing. If they come out with home testing, it's game over for the virus. They'll be testing once a day. We'll do it for a year. And anybody who gets ID'd gets quarantined, and they figure it out. So, Chaka Gillis, $2. Hi, it's truth time for Chaka to let us know that Ryobi is indeed trash.
Oh, trash. I got confused for a
You think
minute.
Chaka changed the position on that one?
I don't know. I mean,
No.
yeah, no, probably not.
Trash.
Okay, cover your ears.
Oh, wait.
I was talking to them. I don't care if you cover your ears. Bing, bing,
I'm
bing,
all
bing, bing, bing. Thank you, Chaka.
Les Sailor says, howdy. Donna Ross says, hey, Eleanor, put one of those pictures in the package for Ricky. We will let her know. Zafio says, you're doing awesome trading, but I'm waiting for the next dive when they figure out if this is not going to recover by Christmas. No way for us to be able to tell that. We won't know that for another 2 months if we're going to get a spike recovery or not. Again, it all depends on how quickly they can mitigate the issues with the virus.
Well, I mean, the reality is also the virus is constantly evolving, mutating.
Now, actually, it is and it isn't, because the shell of the virus doesn't change. And that means
You mean the corona-shaped part of it?
Yeah, but think of it as like a bunch of stuff inside a candy shell, like an M&M. So if
Okay.
the stuff inside the M&M changes, and you've got a vaccine that identifies M&Ms, it doesn't matter. It goes, oh, there's the M&M.
Right.
So that's the good thing about the virus. The other thing is that, there have been some changes. Iceland identified several different variations, but they became more contagious, but had very, very minor symptoms, like a mild cold kind of symptoms. So if it mutates, it's something like that, it's like, okay, we all get the sniffles for a week.
Right. Hey, Terry, you probably already saw this, but Joe Smith said he's sending an email to you. So, and I know that many of you are going to be either staying at home or having lots of unforeseen things happening. We are always here if you need to reach out and talk. We are not millionaires, so we probably cannot helicopter in toilet paper. I can't even find toilet paper, but definitely reach out to us, and if you're having a real issue or a struggle, or you just need to talk to somebody that isn't your cat or giraffe, we are definitely here. Please email us, contact us. Did I forget something?
No.
Okay. I just want to say that.
No, I totally agree. Golf and Guns would like to let people know that all unattended children will be sold to the circus. I always like the one about they will be given an espresso and a puppy.
Yep. I would just like to say that my children already are a circus, so they wouldn't even know they were gone.
Ree says, my mother made blueberry and pineapple dump cake. Oh my God, diabetes. Mike says, hey y'all, listening in while my Bella drowns me in dog slobber and fur.
Aww.
Yeah, ours does that too.
Yeah.
White Pop says he got licked by a giraffe once.
Yep. Me too. Mm-hmm.
Asylum says, I typed that number wrong. It was 9 million. I put the commas in the wrong place. Works out to about 1,774 miles. I'm near Milwaukee.
Wow.
And Ed the Old Tech Guy points out that there's 209 viewers with only 30 likes.
Ooh,
Please, everyone, hit the like button. How about this? I got a better one. I absolutely forbid anyone to hit the like button.
Ooh, that would make me like it right away. Yes.
Absolutely no liking the like button or hitting the like button.
That's right. That's what I
And Jake asks, what's the deal with the Cobalt toolboxes? I think I missed something. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I should talk about them anymore. So if you guys remember, I did a video last year on the Mopar Green Cobalt toolbox. And it was on sale at that time for like $500, something like that. I got mine for $350 because there was a small dent down in the side. And I put that loaded with tools, not in boxes, just loose tools, put it in the back of a trailer, drove it up to Montana, used it in Montana with it parked outdoors for the entire rainy summer, put it back in the truck and drove it all the way back here. So basically stress tested it, banged the hell out of it, all that 9 yards to see how it would handle it. And you know what? And it did fine. I would never call it a professional grade toolbox. It's definitely a strong DIY toolbox. And the weird thing is Lowe's, they do this thing where they have some and then they get rid of it and then it comes back and then they get rid of it. Well, right now they're in another getting rid of it cycle, but they're serious about it this time. And it's down to $200. So if you get one new in the box, it's $200. There are people who are finding half, like just the top or just the bottom, getting those for $100. People are finding scratch and dent ones, getting them for, I don't know, I think Lowe's may be paying them to take it away. And there's couple other carts. There is a Craftsman cart. It's like a 36, 40-inch wide with a wood top kind of cart, great for a tool stand. And that's going for like $40. And there is another, think of it like the 5-drawer tool cart, except it's 40 inches wide, and the whole top of it flips up with a pegboard and everything. And that's going for between $100 and $200.
Eleanor did one. It's a bear.
Aww.
The other one was a giraffe. Good job. So you can pick which one you want to send to Ricky. Okay.
But anyway, they've been talking about it in the Facebook group. That's facebook.com/groups/the Den of Tools. There's a link, I think, in the video description here. And so if you're on Facebook, you can go over there and you can join. And there's dozens and dozens of posts of people finding them and how they found them and what to look for. Because a lot of cases, they're not showing up in stock. What we found is they've been putting them up on very top shelves. So this is really, a fairly heavy piece of equipment they put up on the top shelf, and nobody seems to want to go up there to inventory. So a lot of people have been finding them in their local stores. They check 3 or 4 stores, and they find one. It's weird. Anyway, enough of that.
Mike McIntyre says, with all the tools and equipment you have, is this a 2-car garage? Wow.
Yeah, well, half of our tools are in Montana.
Yeah.
So, and to be fair, we have pretty much a whole storage unit as well, full of tools.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot of tools.
And I've loaned tools to friends. So
Yep.
Dare you get some New York plates and drive down the strip again? I got Montana plates. So, Halo Wolf says, good evening to Bears.
Good evening.
Dale says, hello from the state of Jefferson. Go Jefferson. Semper Prentice says he was bummed. He was hopeful about the toilet paper.
Yeah, I know. I have really tried to find some. We are fine ourselves, but I definitely check on neighbors, and I've heard several neighbors that are concerned that they do not have enough. So, yep. Eleanor's a goofball. I think we are pretty behind. Oh, Elkvest, $2.03. It says, howdy, Bears. Cover your ears, dear.
Go on.
Daughter of Ra, don't listen. Bing, bing, ding, 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 ding. $2.03 from Elkvis. Thank you so much.
Donna Russ says, so I took a nap today. Steve was watching your floor jack video. It entered my dreams. Yeah, this is why I sleep with
That
Finn.
is him.
That's me. I will not let her sleep in the same room with video going or audio of any kind because it will come into my dreams.
I watch a lot of like murder,
Yeah.
death.
Awesome.
Yeah. So he would just be dreaming about
Gary
that.
asks, is the grease gun any good? I don't know. I haven't even seen it in person yet. So, Terry says, fixing to have I'm guessing a hutch of HVAC tools or
Yeah.
a bunch of HVAC tools for sale, lightly used. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I need the old Batman logo on my screen. Bow. Pew. I love that. Jeffrey says, grease gun. Thinking about it, I have their mid-priced air power grease gun with lock and lube tips. Need it for the Kubota. I have the lock and lube tips also, and that's what I was talking about. I really like those. I'll have to take a look at the tips, the new ones that are coming out, the locking on grease tips, and compare them.
Did you see Jeep and Jeffrey says, let's get the bear to shave his eyebrows tonight?
Yeah, that not happening.
How much have you been drinking?
Speaking of which,
No.
cheers.
Bears. Daughter of Ross says
That
we
ain't
can
coffee.
swing by Ohio on the way to Michigan, just slightly out of the way.
Woo.
Jason Jenkins says, making the bear work weekends now, eh? The bear does not work weekends.
I did. I made him work this morning.
Oh.
Put his fuzzy butt to work.
Oh, well, then he is probably grouchy.
Yep. Well, he's stuck at home with the rest of us, so.
Yep. That's right.
Colin says, my 2 golden retrievers have no concept of social distancing.
Yep.
Yeah, our Labrador.
That's a snack? It's in your mouth? We can totally share. I'm totally...
Gary says
fine.
has not seen the Power Grease Gun yet. I haven't seen it in stores, just saw that they were releasing it. Nick asks, anyone else notice that air travel is not grounded? I guess I have an excuse to buy a flat gun. I was surprised. Honestly, I thought a lot of air travel would be grounded because you're putting people in a tube with recycled air. It can't be a great idea.
Jennifer White Wolf says, need coffee. Need coffee.
Tech Gorilla says, wazah. I still got to do my coffee video.
Yes.
Oh, Alan says his Predator 3500 generator is dead.
I saw that comment.
What happened? Also, everyone, don't forget to type at the Den of Tools, as it says right here above my head.
Yeah.
If you type that in, it shows up as literally like that big orange blob on my screen. And those are the ones, I read those. I read the super chats. I read comments from members and stuff. Excuse me. But basically, I can't read every single line or I would never get through all of this. And I read pretty fast.
Checkarilla says, if you chomped the dislike button, you have a small wrench.
Nice.
I didn't say it.
Michael says, recent projects have been replacement buttons for fluke voltmeter and other stray plastic parts that get lost. Oh, yeah, for the 3D printer. And let's see here.
Daughter of Ross says, I nearly hit the dislike button just to make Tech Gorilla mad.
39 Supercharged asked, where do you go in Montana? Our house is in Livingston. We go, I like to say we spend half our time. I probably spend half my time. She's more down here than she is up there. We go back and forth.
Only because we have children.
Yeah. We're in Vegas as part of a compromise with my ex with custody for the older one. But if we had our druthers, she would be in Montana full time, and I would be on a sailing boat in the Caribbean full time. So
we'd meet up
on for holidays.
Yep.
Yeah. I think
would be really sad. I just thought about, we'd be really sad if we were that far away.
Yeah, she gets seasick, and I love to sail.
Yeah.
But
we're working on it.
Our compromise is that once the youngest is off to college, that we'll make Montana our full-time home, but we're going to RV it during the winter.
Yep.
And Salem says, I do not believe that the virus is killed by heat. If it was, it would die as soon as it went into our 98-degree lungs, and a mild fever would fix everyone. No, because being inside of an organism is different because the virus can connect. It's the way viruses work. Viruses in themselves are not technically living organisms in their own. They're kind of like a key that can only exist when it connects with other biological tissue. That said, when it's on a surface, it doesn't really die so much as it remain viable. And it cannot survive on a surface with heat outside the body where it's not connected to tissue. There's a whole lot more medical stuff that goes along with that, but and maybe we can do a video on that later if anyone's interested in that sort of thing.
Scott Hayden says, spend about an hour at each Lowe's near me. No ghost boxes to be found. My neck hurts from looking up.
I'm sorry. There are none near me either, and
Well,
I've been looking.
But somebody else said that they found one, and they
Yeah.
got it for $200.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm bouncing back and forth between looking at this screen and looking at my phone. I have to say, tonight, I am doing a terrible job helping with comments.
Absolutely terrible. There's so many people in the forums or in the groups that other people who can't find them are getting pissy about it.
Yeah.
MERS was a coronavirus. The Middle East is a tad bit hot. It didn't seem to phase it. Middle East is hot in the summer. Right now, the temperature in Tehran is the same as the temperature here. It's in the low 50s. A lot of people seem to think that desert equates with heat all year round, and that's just not true.
That is absolutely not true. Las Vegas Unfiltered says, what about when our grandparents didn't even have toilet paper? We will be fine. Absolutely.
Yes.
We are, yep.
Wilhawk says Joe Diffie passed away today due to the virus. Who was Joe Diffie?
Sorry, I can only think of the musician that's sick with it right now.
Yes.
No, this is a different musician. This guy actually passed. There something Prin. My mom posted about it. Apparently my dad loved this singer. Oh, now I have to go find it. To the internets.
I'm not good with names of famous people.
No, he's just not good with names.
Yeah, that's true.
End of story.
Cletus says, why do you drive poorly built vehicles? I don't. Try not to. How has Ryobi survived when no one has a good word?
What?
I guess when no one has anything good to say about them? I do. I actually recommend. I know Chaka doesn't like it, but I actually, somebody asked me today, they said they needed to invest in a DIY level of power tool systems, that they had been invested in Porter Cable, but they didn't trust that Porter Cable was going to continue to be supported, reasonably so. And they said, what did I suggest now? And I said the three choices that I would recommend are Cobalt, Bauer, and Ryobi.
The other musician who is sick, very sick, is John Prine, and I want to say he's in his 70s. So that was the other person I was thinking of.
Di says the virus is very active in countries that are currently in summer. It is active, but it's not going just bonkers crazy in places that are currently in summer. It's because you can still get person-to-person transmission. Okay, where you get the real epidemiology kind of what do you call it, the growth rate, the exponential growth rate. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word exponential. Where you get the real exponential growth rate is where it can be transferred multiple times from a same point of contact. So you have one person who coughs on a work surface, and then lots of people touch that same work surface. That is where you get that real exponential growth rate. Whereas person to person it can be quick because one touches two touches four touches. But the reality is that that's not exactly what happens. The growth rate, even when you go physically in contact with somebody who is contaminated, so who does have it, is only 3 out of 10, which is higher than, say, the flu, but it's not like measles or any of that kind of stuff. So it's what I've seen, because I was actually just on a Discord chat discussing this with some people, and what we're seeing is that the countries that are in warmer climates, they do have growth in densely urban areas. They're getting much lower growth in the rural areas, and the rate of growth is much lower than that you see in areas where it's still, say, springtime kind of weather.
Halen Wolf with a $5 super chat. Just because. Thanks for all the entertainment during the week with Stock Talk. Thank you, Halen. I know we see you every morning. Thank you so much. Bing, ding, bing, 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 bing. Thank you. There was a comment from Brad Payne that says Livingston is where the Stockman Club is. You know, liquor up front, card games in the rear. I'm not far, neighbor in Wyoming. He did not say card games.
Steak in the rear.
But yes.
Good steaks.
Yes, they do have steaks.
I love the Stockman. I go in there for drinks probably once a week. Used to, at least. It's all closed now.
Yes, nothing's open. And I don't know if they're doing alcohol to go there. I know here, as we discussed last week, they are doing alcohol to go as long as you're purchasing food.
Oh, did you see the thing from, what do you call it? What's that pseudo-Italian place? Olive Garden. They're doing alcohol delivery.
Oh.
Wine and beer. I'm like, good on you. As I said, that's a new way of serving the community.
That's right.
Ralph Smith says here in Florida, parks are going to be closed longer than they thought. They laid off a bunch of people at SeaWorld big time. Yeah, every place is. I look at this, a lot of people are like, well, they're extending all this stuff, and they said stuff before, and now they're saying, this is typical crisis mitigation. That's the way companies and politicians work. It's always like everything's going to be fine. We're going to, 2 weeks, everything will be good. We're going to get this done in 2 weeks. And they get closer and they're like, okay, it's going to slip a little bit. We got some slippage. That no one ever comes out and says, okay, so we got the numbers in and the sky is falling. Nobody ever says that. Mm-hmm. So you'll never hear that. You'll never see somebody like, and we're closing forever. Unless basically they can't hide it.
Right. And I mean, can you blame them? You don't want people freaking out.
Yep. And Mike says, this Corona mess has my late grandmother's words in my head. When life has got you down, look up, give it to God, and he will take care of it. That's what I pretty much do.
Sorry, Elkvis. I need to be closer to the mic.
Michael says, one last item. Got quizzed by one of the 3D vendors about being willing to make parts for medical equipment, like homemade respirators. Oh, that's cool. I saw somebody doing 3D respirator masks or not ventilators, but I guess respirators. And I also saw that they're using those full face scuba masks as ventilators. For the masks for ventilators. I thought it was pretty clever.
Interesting.
Rhea says, do you have PayPal I can donate to? Yes, there is a link right below. In the description, it says something like support this channel or something like that, and it will take you to a page through OBS here that goes directly to PayPal.
Hey, Nightly Nerds is here with us.
Nightly Nerds!
He says, hey guys, how goes the social distancing?
Did you hear me? That was a pretty good version of his.
That was excellent, honey. You did such a great job of not being Nightly Nerds.
They're great people. Great job there. Did a really great job. I know him. He does a great job all the time.
Yes, we're doing pretty good with social distancing. Not as much as you. I have seen you be out in the
way
great
out
wide,
there. Very distant.
So, but keep up the great work. He's been doing some amazing hikes.
He's in Vegas. He's a local media creator here in Vegas. And he's one of the guys that lost a bunch of weight that inspired me. And
just a great guy.
yeah, just a great guy in general. And one of the reasons why I have not given a update on the weight, I was looking around for my scale. It's over here. It's broken. The kids broke it.
Yeah.
I think they were surfing on it. They broke one of the feet off of it. I'm trying to figure out how to fix it that won't throw it out of whack. So
I may need to go beat a cub with a Nerf
I was wondering.
item.
Why don't you go do that?
Yeah.
And remind them.
I'll be back.
Hold on. Alexa, set studio to red.
It is red.
I figured it was.
Okay.
Sorry, we have a light out there to let people know that we're recording. And they're out there basically beating each other with pillows or something, or Labradogs. I don't know what they're doing. And Silent says, it's sweet you let us reach out. Let's email you to reach out if we need to. What address do we send the mail to? You can email me at red@denoftools.com or the missus at mrsdebear@denoftools.com. Ed the old tech guy says, here in Chicago, we ain't drinking the Coronas. We're shouting at it. Let's see here. Hold on just a second. My thing jumped around on me here. What's your opinion on the Milwaukee toolboxes? I saw them at Home Depot. They are pretty expensive, nowhere near Snap-on, but they seem to be built like a tank. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of them, and I'll tell you why. Hold on, I gotta adjust my seat here. My issue is they're not cheap, and they're also they're not built like a tank. There's a channel called Workshop Addict. He's reviewed them. He likes them as a DIYer toolbox, but when you, I'm talking here. You could show it to him. You're a big girl. No. Nope. Come on over here if you want to show it to him. Nope, you gotta get your face out of there. Come on.
My hair.
Cause your hair's a mess?
Yeah, Mom won't let me.
Nice. Doing hearts now?
Whatever I want. Free country.
Whatever, Tigret.
You're a tiger. Creature.
Not on my box. Nope. Nope.
See this, guys. See this.
I have to approve it before it goes on the box. That doesn't qualify for the box. That's not good enough. You gotta try harder.
I will hurt you.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. L. Eleanor. Line. Crossed. Bye.
Can't put it up.
Bye. Eleanor.
I'm putting it up. I don't know where to put it.
Someone is out of pocket. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. We were talking about the Milwaukee toolboxes. Anyway, go check out their channel. My feeling is that they're about the same build construction, maybe a little bit better than probably a step up from the Cobalt stuff. But at close to $1,000, I think you can do a lot better. Yeah, as far as not good enough, I do challenge her, because here's what happens if I don't. It gets plastered with not even half, quarter used pieces of paper that she writes scribbles on. She's a really good artist when she tries. So I do try to challenge her to be a better artist. I told Elle that she couldn't put her heart things up on the cabinet.
Daughter Ross says, Bear, let her hang up the art, or I'll get the rug supplies out.
Get the rug supplies. I'm trying to challenge our children to be better, because if you know what happens if she will churn out 1,000 pieces of art that each takes up 1/10 of a page, wastes a bunch of paper, and she doesn't spend any time in.
She's learning.
No, she knows better. She can do better. She's not 5 anymore.
Neither are you.
Yes, I am. Gary says, too late, already hit the like. Javier says, the demographic I noticed not practicing social distancing is elderly people. I've not seen any elderly people, so maybe that's where you are. But around here, they don't come out of their house.
Honey, you have not been out of the house.
Yes, I have a couple times.
Okay. I've seen lots of older people. I also realize I'm not in the frame at all. That's better. When I go to the store or to Dollar Tree, I see lots of older folks. And I would say all of the ones that I see are gloved up and wearing masks. And honestly, the look on their face is they're totally scared. So, Fred Hill, 199, super chat, says, don't they know, don't poke the bear. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you, Fred Hill.
Let's see here. Jeep and Jeffrey asks, what's a better power bottom or power top? I'm not sure what you mean, what you're in reference to there. Owen says, I got one of the Ghost Box sets, loving it, fantastic box, and got that $200 price. At $200, it's you can't beat it. Gregory says, we have 22 people affected by the virus in Fort Campbell, plus we send out the 531st Medical Group to New York to help them out. And Mark says, did you see Bush is giving 3 months of free beer for adopting a dog? We need to adopt a dog.
What?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not much of a beer drinker, so.
Beer.
What are you thinking about the Makita 2 amp hour? Sorry, what do you think about the Makita 2 amp hour 1/2-inch impact gun? I'll be honest, I have not used it personally. I've heard people on the channel who have it. I love Makita tools. I have several of them. I think they're great. They're, the impact gun I grab the most is probably my Makita. I think they're great tools.
Insulin says, I'm tired. I have to work in the morning. I'm going to bed. Good night, everyone.
Good for you.
Good night.
That you're working.
Yep.
And let's see here. What is going on with my chat?
Bear One says, had to go to Sam's Club for some meds or for some needs. There were like 20 people that just barreled right up our tail ends, giving even in the line for paying this lady in a go-kart that just ignored the 6 feet tape. I've gotten pretty bold about telling people, like, I need you to back up, or I need some space. It sounds weird the first time you say it, but if you think about the alternative, it's okay if you think I'm rude. I'm okay with that. But yeah, people really are weird in grocery stores. I definitely have noticed that. Like, there are most grocery stores, there's like little tape that demarks where you're supposed to be standing. And people like have this idea that like somebody's going to cut in front of them. I'm like, there's literally 37 of us in line. If somebody were to be confused and try to cut in front of us, 36 other people would be up their rear end telling them that they need to get in line. So just calm down.
I'm going to make some shirts that say, I have the Wuhan, bet you'll stay back 6 feet now.
Yeah.
Jehu says, Ed and I just had an adventure with the boxes, and it will be a video soon. Oh, cool. I'm looking forward to that. Gary says, is the Harbor Freight Power Grease Gun any good? I've not seen it yet. They've only announced that it was going into stores. I haven't been to a lot of stores lately. Ed says, Jehu and I got a Craftsman tool cart for $29.30 today. Awesome. Oh, man. That's the one I really want, is that Craftsman tool cart that's going for cheap. What do you love more, tools or Mrs. Bear? Can I get back to you on that one? I love you more. He didn't say how much, but more.
I know you're doing hand signs over there. Toolhead 147 says, just wear goggles and a respirator and a white suit and they stay back. I will be honest that I have worn some of my headgear.
That keeps people away.
It doesn't keep people away, but it makes them laugh. And I think that
laughing right now is a good thing.
Laughing right now is a good thing, and making people smile. And I forget that I'm wearing it most of the time, and then someone will start laughing and be like, oh, giraffe or something. And I'm like, what? Oh, right. Yes, I'm a giraffe. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's me. So, yeah. Terry's going to bed.
Good night, Terry. You take care.
If they can sleep. So,
Yeah, I know
Have a
that
good night.
feeling.
We will definitely keep you in our thoughts and prayers, and reach out to us. Seriously, do not be a stranger. Keep coming back and let us know, what's going on for you.
Michael says, "Good evening, Bears. Just got home from a tool run on my trike to Lowe's. What have I missed?" You've missed everything. All the good stuff. It's all downhill from here. Wahawk says, "The bell gives Jeff Clint Eastwood face."
Mm-hmm.
Jehu's, "Thank you, Bear, for the sales updates and everyone else posting coupons. No worries." Jennifer White Wolf says, "No more Sears catalogs, so we need toilet paper."
Nice.
Bear One says, "I'm late, but for good reason. I was staining some wood." Always a fun thing to do. And Asylum says, "Airplanes do not recycle the air all the time. There is some air that is recirculated. However, the majority of the air comes from compressors on the engines." Oh, that's interesting.
Rye Nirvana says, "My 30th birthday is next Saturday. Anyone want to help me get a Den of Tools shirt?" Oh, happy almost birthday.
Alan says, "JFK to LAX had 6 people on it." Whew.
So you had lots of legroom.
Yep. Bear One says, "I saw the blue Daytona in store today. So new stuff was coming in here at least." I do like the blue. I'll tell you, I want that long reach one. I don't know where I'd put it, but Michael says, "My pugs are, for the most part, layabouts. Unless there is something to eat, then they become food-seeking missiles." The Robert Abb says, "The better half had 3 trips on her schedule for next month. 2 have been canceled."
I'm sorry.
And Jeff Toey says, "Howdy from lockdown in Bozeman, Angeles." Yeah, you betcha. Let's see here. Steven says, "Mrs. Bear saw this, but I'm getting hazard pay at work now. That's awesome." He's working at Menards. Well, we've talked about it before. I hope you don't mind me saying that, but we have talked about it before. So I just wanted to give Menards a shout out for doing hazard pay.
Excuse me.
Jehu says, "My company has not received an essential permit for highway travel. We were supposed to ask for one, or is the government passing them out?" I don't know. Some companies have been printing it out. It depends on what state you're in. I'm not particularly worried about it. Of course, arguing with police is not something that I am unfamiliar with.
Mm-mm.
I do it politely. I don't scream or anything else.
No.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Mauricio.
Mauricio. I am looking at buying long-term dividend stocks in 3 weeks. Figured by then market will be down since people are selling 401k. There is a good chance of that. If you're looking to buy and hold and invest in the market long-term, it's an excellent time to buy. Just excellent. We're doing stock options. We're doing trading. We don't invest in the market long-term. We have other outside the market investments. So that's not really an issue for us. But some people are talking about today, Pepsi. Look at Pepsi. Pepsi's a good buy right now.
A bunch of people are responding back to Jehu, so just look, and when you see it highlighted, they're responding to you.
Tech Gorilla says, "I loved washing the car on Christmas Day in Phoenix in shorts and a t-shirt. I was planning to wash the car this past week, and then suddenly it got cold."
Yep.
But this coming week is supposed to be warm. I'm looking forward to it. We got to wash the car. I got some saw videos to do. I got the coffee thing to make here. I'm looking over here because I got my bag of coffee sitting right next to me. Green coffee beans we're going to be roasting, and it creates quite a mess. Not a huge mess, but there's a smell and flakes going up in the air, so you have to do it outside, really. Livingston, we read that one about from Brad.
Mm-hmm. And Steven said, "I don't mind you saying that I work at Menards one bit."
Thank you. Frank Landgraf says, "Pickup, man." I do drive a pickup. What about it? Did I miss something?
I don't know.
Oh.
Sorry, I was reading Daughter of Rot says, "Steve got a letter from work. My mom has one for her badge and one for her car. Dad just in work gear." I don't know what that means. Are you talking about because they're still going to work? I'm confused. I got lost. Sorry.
I think they're talking about the singer.
No.
Okay. Alan says he just got the 20-volt grease gun and he loves it. There we go. Hawk says, "Joe Diffie song, prop me up besides the jukebox when I die."
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Davis says, hello from Clearfield, Utah.
Hello. We're catching up.
Michael says, how long before we see the Harbor Freight 20-volt disinfectant shop sprayer? Well, they got the pump-activated one. So, to the cordless, it's going to be well. James says, hello from Harrisonville, Missouri. Sorry. He says, I've been MIA for a bit. Sorry, as you know, I've had a difficult time. Or, sorry, as I know you've had a difficult time without me. We have, James. It has been rough. But, with God's help, we get through it day by day. Speaking of with God's help, I gotta tell you, I watched what's the movie called? I think it's called It's a Wonderful Day in the Neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen that, you need to rent it or whatever. It's a movie that is essentially about, and also not about, Frank Rogers, aka Mr. Rogers, in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And I did not realize this growing up about him, but he is, I think he's a Presbyterian minister. He's a minister, a youth minister, who says that who's always believed that his ministry was the children of the world, and he ministered through he was basically a televangelist, ministering to today's youth, or the youth of the day, through the television. And, I always assumed that Mr. Rogers was a character that he played. And it's not. That is essentially who he was on a day-to-day basis. And just such an inspiring man who did so much for his community, for the people around him. And it's not I won't say it's a happy, feel-good kind of movie, but much like what Mr. Rogers talked about, which was difficult subjects that helps you get through it and helps you understand the world better. Anyway, I highly, highly recommend it. Gregory says, back in the day, the farmers used the Sears catalog and the farmer's almanac as toilet paper. I believe that. And Paul Samery says, yet you'll get exponential growth until the population saturates or testing isolates and starves off the virus. The scaling factor may vary a bit. That is correct.
Raivana sent a message saying that he had donated through the link, and then he was worried that maybe it didn't go through. I did double check while you were talking. Yes, everything came through. Thank you so much. That was super great.
Well, I'm pulling this down so I can see the mixer better, because people are complaining they can't hear you again.
I don't know what they're talking about. Sorry.
Maybe if you, swallow the microphone.
Just keep drinking your soda, crazy. No, that's for Amanda. Go ask Amanda if she doesn't want it.
No.
No?
It's mine if she doesn't want it.
Go ask Amanda if she doesn't want it. It's Dad's.
What? You fell for that? I mean, great. Apparently there is one last piece of banana cake.
Yep, and they're all...
We should give it to the dog. She would love you forever.
She will... No.
She'll
be a super fat
She's going to
hound.
be a big... Well, that's our loving nickname for her, is Fat Hound, because
But we love her.
she's trying desperately to become the fattest of hounds.
Yes.
Let's see here.
Oh, Jennifer White Wolf says Northern Minnesota had snow this AM, about 4 inches. She said
4 inches.
Minnesota.
That's not some snow. That's like all the snow for
What
late
did she
March,
say?
early April.
No.
I was teasing. You can have it.
Okay, no, because the other kids have asked, so now.
Okay, you gotta split it 3 ways.
Yeah.
Have Elle cut it. Then you and Duncan get to choose. Do rock, paper, scissors.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Look at the screen.
Oh my gosh.
Michael. Oh my goodness. $50 super chat. Virus visual aid. The super chat symbolizes the envelope on a coronavirus that lasts a longer time on a surface in cold weather. Except this lasts longer at the top of the chat window and is much, much, much better. It's science. The more you know.
The more you know. Michael, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
hope
so
you're doing
much.
well. I'm really sorry, by the way. I've been meaning to reach out to you, but I've been so focused down on getting our household ready, getting stuff out of storage. getting our brass stockpiles accumulated, and
Yeah.
and it's just been kind of crazy around here. And I've been meaning to check in on you. Thank you, A, for the support, and B, for letting us know you're still out there. And I hope you and the missus are doing well.
And thank you for the science lesson. Cover your ears. It's going to get crazy.
Hold on.
Really?
Really?
It's for other people that I
You're
say
going to
that.
hurt me.
Thank you, Michael. I know, and I'm going to enjoy it. I mean, ringing the bell.
We're engaged.
Oh, my gosh. Bing, 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 bing. The more you know.
Are you done?
Maybe.
Oh, those things get hot.
I love you.
Hello, let's see here. Haynesville, back in the day, farmers, mom needs to get closer to the mic. Sent out. Donna Ross says, I sent out pics of our masks I made to the missus.
Daughter of Ra made some super awesome masks.
And not only that, you've inspired her. She went out and bought she calls it a sewing machine.
I showed her the sewing machine thingy.
Well, I was talking about for everyone else.
Oh,
It's essentially the Ronco pocket sewer.
that's right.
Nick says, who else is ready for the apocalypse? The Forge is going overdrive, making weapons and hopefully armor soon.
Yep.
I do have to say that as crazy as this has all gotten, there is a part of me, and don't judge me harshly, okay?
Totally judging you. I don't even know what you're going to say.
But I feel like I was promised that there would be zombies. I've got my pole saw ready to go. I've got hand tools. I've got a sword. I've got weapons. I've got firearms. We're stocked with food and toilet paper. I was promised zombies. And there are not zombies.
Have you met our children?
I'm canceling this apocalypse because I'm returning it. I want to call Amazon customer service and return this apocalypse, please.
I don't think Amazon's doing returns right now. I don't think
Oh.
anyone's doing returns.
They're probably just going to refund me and say, go ahead and keep your apocalypse. We'll just refund you the
Yeah.
money.
Or they'll just say, keep your pox.
Halon says, I posted the Facebook group, got the Craftsman cart for $29.18. You people suck.
He means you're amazing.
Amazing.
That's what he means.
And I see the Craftsman tall tool chest and top and bottom for $320-ish. I'm going to get a couple of those carts. I am. They will be mine.
Fred Hill says, Super Chat, $1.99. Can you believe they're not testing in Colorado? No, I cannot believe.
I can.
Well, I can. I've met our government. $1.99. Cover your ears. Bing, 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 bing. Jennifer White Wolf says, Fred, they're too high in Colorado to test. That's right. The altitude.
I was going to say it.
Woo.
I'm glad somebody else said it first.
Yeah. Halen Wolf says, $2 super chat. Right on no zombies. Worst disease ever. That's right.
It's a disappointment. I'll be writing a Yelp review later.
I was going to say you're going to leave a Yelp review. Halen Wolf, $2. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you.
Let's see here.
Okay, now people are just nonstop talking about zombies.
Richard Wise, scale, it's high tech. Wise, I don't know what that means.
Kids broke scale.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, research
There's Wise
ways.
Wise scale. Is that like the same people who do home automation? Because I like their home automation stuff.
I'm trying to remember where we got that scale. But yeah, it is a really cool
I
scale.
ordered it off of Amazon. Jennifer points out that it is Labradog time.
Somebody, it's also Adopt-A-Mod time.
Is it really?
7:05.
In case you didn't know it, we support the Adopt a Mod program where you too can choose your favorite mod to adopt. That's anybody such as Jennifer White Wolf, Joe Smith and Friends, our original OG mod, Reed Nirvana, White Pop, Daughter Raw, and others. Because most of them are creators in their own right. They do their best by volunteering and spending time every Sunday night here with you, making sure the chat stays family friendly, answering questions that we can't get to, reminding people to type in at the Den of Tools, helping the missus choose or even provide appropriate headgear for each and every chat. They do so much to help provide a great environment here for you. So we ask you is for you to adopt a mod, go over and check out their channel because we support other creators as well. Go and watch one of their videos, give them a thumbs up, maybe consider liking, subscribing. We got some great people. Remember, Joe Smith and Friends is going to be interviewing the missus this Friday. You don't want to miss that.
That's me.
Jennifer White Wolf has a couple great little videos on her channel. Also, don't forget Daughter Raw. We're trying to get her the first person to have 1,000 subscribers, get a silver play button, and have absolutely no content. The best non-content on all of YouTube. So anyway, also we want to thank everyone from Michael on down who's donated and supported with Super Chats tonight. Just a reminder that all of that is going towards our lovely fund for the new camera system here. And like my Vanna White imitation there. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to get a new camera so you can see us in more crisp living color, as well as everyone who's joined and become a member at Denna Tools. It's like Patreon, but built into YouTube there. And they're the ones who get the little bear behind their name, such as Daughter Raw, Brad Pan, I can't pronounce your last name, Brad, and others. And we just would say thank you so much for supporting us each and every month.
Absolutely.
Did I leave anybody out?
Nope. I just think the Adopt a Mod program is super awesome.
I also want to say thank you so much for everybody who works in medical services, who are working hard to keep us safe, who work each and every day so we can stay home and do our part by social distancing and staying away from everybody we don't like. I'm really good at social distancing, in case you wondered.
I'm not sure if Zafiel loves us or hates us. He says, what's the address to send your kids sugar and candy with Amazon Prime 2-hour delivery?
You say you're not sure whether he loves us or hates us?
Yeah.
Why does he have to choose?
I was just saying what?
You're supposed to go get the Labradog, by the way.
I was?
Yes.
When?
Jennifer White Wolf said it's Labradog time. And that's when you reminded me that it was also Adopt a Mod time.
Okay. I will go get the Labradog. She's cray-cray the crack dog for banana bread.
Just tell her you've banana bread. Craig Jorgensen says, quit buying Harbor Freight scales. And Andy says, from Lincolnshire, UK, more Tecton on the way. Still got cars to fix during these crazy times. That's awesome. Y Pop says, nice hearts. They were okay. She's done better. She has she's not just good at drawing or having fun drawing, but she's very stylistic. And that's one of the things. Hold on. I have to put my drink down because I'm about to get mugged. Come here. Come on. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Come here. What's going on? You just knocked over. You're going to trash Mommy's phone here because Mommy left stuff hanging because she's not very smart sometimes. Come here. Oh, poor hound. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. I know. There's food. But Dad, there's food. There's food in the other room, isn't there? Come here. People want to say hi. Come on. Come here. Hop. 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 Really? Come here. Hop. Oh, there. Come here. What is going on with you? Come here. Come here. Come on. There she is. Yeah, look. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? No. You're fine. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take your collar. Oh, look what I got. Oh, look what I got. I got your collar. You want it? Come on. Come on, up. There she goes. Oh, she gets so distraught when people take her collar. She hates us that. All right. She's quite sure that other people are in the other room having fantastic foods without her. And let's see here. Groove just says you have to get one of those metal hook scales. Hey, picture you hanging in your garage. Those things are robust. Nice. FDJ says, please forgive me. I hit the like button. We said, no, don't hit the like button. Nobody hit the like button. We'll see if the reverse psychology works tonight. Ree sent us $20. Thanks for the content and the entertainment. Thank you so much for the support, sir. We really appreciate it. NyQuil and dog shocker collars. Oh, we did a video a while back on dog collars. Somebody sent us one. Hold on, my camera is getting all wonky on us there. Somebody sent us one of those dog shocker collars. They wanted us to test it out on the dog for video or something. And I was not willing to do that. So I just tested it holding it myself. And the kids got so excited. They wanted to try it. So we did a video with the kids and I, not putting it on, just holding it in our hand, trying to see what level we could take it up to. And we could all take it up to 100. It's stimulating. Here, can you pick that up? Down there? Your dog knocked that over.
Oh, my dog?
Your dog.
Now it's my dog, not your dog.
I don't have one.
Oh.
My dog is well behaved and she never breaks anything. So that's clearly your dog.
So you don't have any children
Not a one.
or dogs. That's what I'm hearing.
Let's see here. Did you talk to Zeph? Oh, that was the address for the sugar and candy. We should send him our Roz address.
She'd probably like sugar and candy.
All right, and Don Russ says, you just shot her down on live chat, which will be saved. Well, she will be fine.
Daughter, I'll be messaging you later.
Bear One says, had to go to Sam's Club for some
I already
needs.
read that one.
Okay. Yeah. Todd's Workshop's in the house. I'm late. How's everyone doing? We're making it through. Separata says, Red Bear for president just to get Mama Bear as the first lady. That would be pretty awesome.
Aww. That is a really sweet idea.
Why can't she be president and I can be like the first
I-
slug, just lay around?
I don't do politics. Remember? We already had that chat. Did you lose your tooth?
No, that's a tonsil.
Oh,
Stone.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Not a tonsil stone.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
the lovely part.
Thank you. I'll leave that for
Yeah.
you right there.
Why did you put that on my desk?
Because I don't have a napkin and I'm not holding it for the next 2 hours. Love you. Bye.
Oh, you guys don't want to know. You just don't want to know.
Yep. Hey, Christina Marie.
Christina Marie in the house.
She said she just finished coloring and cutting Eric's hair on her live stream. I know. I saw you were live. I sent you a message. I'm super jealous. I was at the Dollar Tree today and almost bought some hair dye. That's what's happening, folks, when you socially
dye my
distance
beard?
yourself. No, for me. But I was at the Dollar Tree, so the hair dye at the Dollar Tree, I'm guessing, is probably not the top of the line. But then I remembered that I also need to cut my hair. And then I was like, I could totally cut my hair. No. Then
Toolhead says, just wear goggles, a respirator, and a white suit. They will stay back.
Yep.
Robert asks, why would anyone wait in line at Sam's Club just to scan and pay with your phone and then don't wait in the line at all? Oh, that's a smart idea. Scott Hayden says, do you think Harbor Freight will give steep discounts on icon benches to tech students like the trucks do?
I don't believe the trucks do.
The trucks do offer a steep discount off a list, which is about the same discount that everyone else gets. It's that kind of same thing where they're like, we've marked it up so we can mark it down. I don't see them doing that because Harbor Freight usually keeps their margins really low. At best case you'll get is like they'll just offer the standard coupon across the board for tech students. I could see them doing that. Harbor Freight says, have a family friend who uses her own Amigo. She was trying to check out. People kept cutting into line because she was 6 feet back. They also kept rushing her. That's too bad. Country Club says, I have a regular DeWalt brushless drill and need to fasten 3/16 screws into concrete. Do I need a special bit to do this? The 3/16 screws, are they self-tapping screws for concrete? Because otherwise you're going to need to drill them and then drive them. And what kind of head is on the 3/16? So there's a whole lot more we need to know about that. I don't even know. Are there self-tapping cement screws? I will be entirely honest. I don't do a lot with cement. I've worked with anchors and stuff like that, but not much in the way of a 3/16. Michael Colton says, hello from Arkansas. Do you think U.S. General will ever make a 72-inch top box? I honestly don't think they will. I just don't think there's a big enough market for it. I know a lot of people want it. But I think they also probably feel that if they do make a top box for it, excuse me, I take that back. I was thinking Hutch. I don't know if they will make a top box for that. I don't know. Because right now I know that that a lot of people just end up buying the 56-inch or whatever and using that and then have the little extra space on the side as, desk space or whatever, workspace. I don't know if they ever will make one. That's a good question. I've asked it before. The group, everything at Harbor Freight is really compartmentalized. They have all these different groups. And the what do you call it? The cabinet group does not talk to me openly the way the other groups do. Them and the welders are pretty, the welding group and the cabinet group are pretty hush-hush about what they do. So that and the marketing group openly hates me. Mike Adams says, I find it fascinating and it makes me proud to see innovation in the U.S. again, proving the naysayers and to the world that we can still do it. A CV silver lining, I guess.
Fred Hill says, so how goes Ghost Town and Las Vegas? $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you. Christina Marie says, the rust of my fire pit keeps coming back on the metal top, and I've already tried WD-40. Help.
Don't use WD-40. WD-40 is not great at keeping rust away. It's actually pretty bad at it. How long does it take to come back? Because I've got this new product that I've been testing and I want to see how long it lasts. There's other rust preventative stuff out there. And I can give you a couple different options here.
Yankee Cantrell, $5 super chat. It says, good to see you, Bear. Hope all is well with the family. In Tennessee, the Kung Flu panic is real. Also, Cobalt XTR tools are epic, Bear. You got to get them. $5, Yankee Cantrell. Thank you. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you. Daughter of Ross says, the camera is slowly cutting more and more of Mrs. DeBear's space.
It is. This is part of the reason we need a new camera.
Yeah, it's really misbehaving today.
The point that where it attaches to the tripod is now broken.
Yeah.
So I need to fix that.
We're
Now-
high tech and
Now
fancy.
I'm getting cut off because you're all
Up in your space.
You got to scoot over.
Oh my goodness.
Because look, I gave
gracious.
you like extra feet over there. That's good. That's good. I just need just a little guy. Just need a little bit, and the camera's way too high
Really?
now.
Really? We are professionals, obviously.
Professionals.
Yep.
All right. And Ed, the old tech guy, asks a question. You know, Ed, don't ever ask a question that you're afraid of the answer, because the answer here, of course, is going to be Dune. He asked if I would choose Dune or Empire Strikes Back. I love Empire Strikes Back, but it is not the epic saga that is Dune, Arrakis, desert planet. No one's riding giant sandworms, on what's the planet they're on? The ice planet, Hoth.
Hoth?
No
What?
one's. How did you know that?
I know stuff.
I'm gonna need some private time with the missus right now. That's so hot.
That's right.
So hot. That's so hot. You're so hot right now.
That's right. And I'm all yours. All this insanity. All that's yours. All my multiple personalities. Fred Hill, $4.99 super chat. And it's the Keep It Up pair. I love that little emoji icon guy. He's like,
You should get the dumbbells out and do some curls.
I don't want to intimidate anyone.
You don't want flex on the screen here?
That's right. This is a safe space for people. Anyways,
What is this,
$4.99
Planet
Fred Hill.
Fitness?
Bing, 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 bing. Thank you, Fred Hill.
Extra bings for the pair.
Yes.
Brad says that was not a fair question. They didn't specify what kind of tools or how many. This is true. Donna Ross says, Steve got a letter from work. My mom has one for her badge and one for her car. Dad's just in work gear. Echo says, good night, 5 a.m. early shift tomorrow. Walmart has big orders coming in. Sounds like work.
Thank you so much for working.
Javier says, I like arguing with cops, especially over tools.
Nice.
We always end up talking about firearms for some reason.
Michael says, sorry I couldn't buy your grill. $2 super chat. Bing, bing, ding, 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 ding. And Halen Wolf says, have you seen Star Trek Picard? Great series. I saw it was recently advertised on like Netflix or one of them. Anyways, so since we'll be watching more television, I'm going to check it out. $2 super chat. Bing, bing, ding, bing, bing, bing. Yeah.
I have not seen it. And it was Michael, was that who said about the grill?
No, Michael.
Michael.
Yes.
Don't worry about the grill. I sold it the next day. It was, so it's gone. We're back down to one grill in the backyard.
And yeah.
Dotara says, yes, they are still working, so they have them marking them or making them. Marking them? Marking them.
I think it's that they,
Making them.
if you have an essential job, they
Yeah.
give you something so that you can show them.
Joe Smith and Friends points out that Pickup Man was Joe Diffie's song. That's what I
Yeah.
said. And you're like, no, and that.
Really? Did you just
Trent
do that
Roberto
live?
says, Corona Party, herd immunity. Pass.
No.
Fred Hill says, I've been home for 10 days due to age and conditions. Now, due to signs of coronavirus, I'm stuck at home for 14 days here in Colorado. They're not testing patients. Unreal. That is why. That is, first, we hope you do better.
Yes.
And that this is just, hopefully you don't get it, or if you do, it's the symptomless version. B, if you've been in that situation, we have drive-through testing here in Vegas. Why would they not have testing in Colorado? Reese says, are you able to check to see if we did? Halon says, for travel, they need to have a letter from their employer. I wish I would get hazard pay. I wish I would get hazard pay. To be honest, our pay is actually down quite a bit because advertisers are not advertising as much. And people are not watching YouTube as much, which is, I thought would be counterintuitive. I honestly thought a lot more people would be watching, and our views are down.
I think people are watching trash on TV.
Yeah, maybe.
And I mean, I definitely think people are watching YouTube, and I think it will also change. I think it will change the longer it goes on.
Well, the reality is that I think a lot of the people who watch this channel watch from work. They take a break at work. They pull out the phone.
That's true.
So I think we see a lot of that.
Right. Jennifer White Wolf says, got to go for a little while. See y'all when I return. Awesome.
Let's see here.
Oh, wow.
Bear One says, and everyone here, do you know what will never be out of stock? Something that never expires? That's right. The gluten-free, non-GMO, keto-like button. Chomp it hard. It's tasty all day long.
I need the gong.
Oh, sorry.
The
I was trying to bite you. I don't know where the gong is.
Well, you better
there
find
it
it.
is.
Barbecue 76 is very specific.
Here's the gong.
Okay, where's my gonger?
The mallet?
Yes.
Do you mean this? What do I get for it?
I will gong you in the head if you don't give it to me.
Okay.
Barbecue 76, $5 super chat says, give me a couple of gongs. If you do the bing, bada bing, 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 I want a refund. Okay, I'm going to try not to do it. It's hard.
You didn't do gong, 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 gong?
No, because
Doesn't resonate with
No.
you?
Barbecue 76, you're so welcome.
Oh, look. There's the foot for our scale. There's the front.
Okay.
There's
Daughter
the
of Ra.
back. You can see they basically glue it on. I was going to solder it on, but I'm going to try some hot glue to see if I can get it to stick, but I don't know if I can get the contacts to show up in the right spot. That's what I'm concerned about.
I have to admit my dingbatness.
Ah!
We're going to do it live here because Daughter of Ra said, Mrs.
Hold on. This is streaming. I want to record this at the same time.
Yeah, of course. It's already recording.
Okay, recording.
Okay. Daughter of Ra said, did Mrs. DeBear like the stream? You have said this for several weeks through text message after our live chats. And I'm like, why does she keep asking me that? Like, does she not like the stream? Did I do something weird on live stream? No, you're literally making sure that I'm hitting the like button. Yes, I did. But that didn't happen until just now. Like my brain was like, "What? Why does she keep asking me if I like the stream? We're still streaming." Yeah.
Do you like it?
I did. I
you
liked it
approve?
already and I approve and I'm a total dingbat. So I just had to admit that because we're all family and you guys have to know
Now
this
you're going
is
to give me
real.
the coronavirus.
I already gave it to you. That's what I put in
'Cause
the
it's a
banana
bat.
cake.
Because you're a bat.
Do not make that noise. I will straight up make you
Hates
sleep.
it when I make that noise.
Yeah.
William H.
William-
H.
Okay, but is that an Anderson that we know? Will H, $20 super chat for the camera fund. Thank you so much. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you. Bing, bing, bing. Sorry, got excited.
Phil Anderson says, "Do it, do it." Phil, are you the Phil we know from Beck and Newman,
Yes.
Mr. Phil?
Do we know you?
Let's see, I got to catch up on stuff here. Hold on, where was I?
I have no idea. I don't even know where I am.
Mark is trying to get me to say, "She who shall not be named, play."
Yep.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Yep.
I will not play that because it will get stuck in my head. I already have, from the movie last night, I have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood stuck in my head constantly.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
Can
see here.
anyone else confirm that when you go grocery shopping, you immediately like have an itch on your face or like your nose starts
Because
running?
you can't scratch it, you need to scratch
or
it.
you need to like do something to your eyeballs and you're wearing gloves and so you're doing this the whole time and you look like some sort of weird exotic meerkat that's gone wrong, or is it just me?
Oh, I love meerkats. Michael Chesney says, "Time to snore. Another huge day of doing nothing in the morning scheduled. Be safe and don't sneeze on each other." Thank you very much. You take care. Have good dreams. Wonderful dreams. Gary says, "Scales are asking to see our letter to be operating in Minnesota and South Dakota." Wow. Wilhawk says, "You're only 3 weeks of live streams behind on comments. I can do better." And Donna Ross says, "Adding a note, there is no requirement for paperwork to leave the house, but it protects in case they get questioned. Couldn't I just write my own note? I mean, I'm self-employed. I can write whatever I want." Ghost police in the house. Paranormal investigating as usual.
That's right.
No ghosts here, man. You take care, though. Stay safe out there. Ben McCaw says, "How good is Ryobi for an avid prosumer? They have some really good deals, and they've just come out with some brushless. I've also considered Bauer and Cobalt. I have a hard time recommending Ryobi in general, and definitely to the avid, what I call like a prosumer level, and that's because of the style of the battery. It is a clunky style of battery. It's a pain in the butt, and the batteries are not fantastic. I would definitely consider Bauer or Cobalt, especially the new Cobalt. They've just updated their whole thing, 24 volt. I've got some Cobalt stuff. I really enjoy it. It is a little bit on the larger, clunkier side, which is one of the reasons why I like the Bauer stuff as well. It's a little bit more compact. So I don't think you can go wrong. Basically, the way I say it is, if you find yourself at Harbor Freight all the time, get the Bauer. If you find yourself at Lowe's all the time, get the Cobalt.
There's a super chat. Also, Joe Smith and Friends says, "Tell Jeff to be nice to you or you'll reveal his embarrassing secrets on After Dark on Friday." I mean, what? Yes, I heard you.
She doesn't know any of my embarrassing secrets. That's why they're secrets.
Barbecue 76, $2.
Truth is,
Awesome.
she does know them, but she's forgotten them.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Says awesome, and I guess I don't need a refund. Barbecue 76, $2 super chat. Bing, ding, 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 ding. You can't have a refund for that one.
Let's see here.
Stop pushing my chair.
Get
your own chair. I feel like I'm in California.
it's a
We're
ghost.
having an earthquake. Stop. You're behind.
Jake says there should be a National Fred Rogers Day. I 100% agree with that statement and would fully support it. Jennifer White Wolf says, "Ben, leave out the spaces when you type at jeez, oh Pete."
Yep, long hair will get you. Can you scroll my thingy? Thank you.
Sweetie, this is a family-friendly channel. Can't talk like that. Jeff Wave. Okay, we talked about that. Dry cough could be the CV.
That's right.
It's a resume? What?
That's right.
Fred Hill says, I hear you. But do you hear me? James says, do you think Harbor Freight would release 20 volt to 120 volt inverters or 20 volt adjustable power supplies? I do electronics there, and I'd love a portable power source. I would love to see that. I have honestly asked for that. I do a lot of stuff with electronics myself. I've been asking for them to come out with a benchtop power supply, a bunch of that kind of stuff. Now, they do have, I believe they do have an inverter, or at least they used to have one, and it was trash. I was not a. Now they do have some bigger ones, as far as inverters. I think was it the Jupiter line or whatever. So, but as far as like a 20 volt one, nothing quite like that right now. The best you can do is they've got 20 volt to USB on the Hercules line, and then you'd have, but that's not an adjustable power supply. I really want just a good, solid benchtop power supply, something I can plug leads into, something I can change the amperage of the voltage on, and it's got a good breaker on the back.
Hey, Phil.
Phil!
Yes, I am.
Yay! Say hi to the family and everyone.
We miss you.
It's our neighbor from back in the day. So
They're
great people.
Yeah. They have a
And their
awesome
kids
family.
are getting so big.
I know.
So big.
Please tell them to stop growing. Ours aren't listening to us. Maybe yours will listen to you.
Country Club says, do you think the Bear King can dominate the Tiger King? Bears over tigers every single day of the week. Also, I don't have cheesy piercings and tattoos and stuff
Have
like
you
that.
even watched the show?
Nope, not once.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is it a reality show or is it scripted?
I don't know.
I haven't actually seen it. I just see people talking about it.
Buddy-
I'm just upset because I saw him with a Hawkeyes mug with his like eyebrow piercings. I just want to grab them and rip them out.
Honey, that's not the kind of channel we are.
Grown men with eyebrow
it's not
piercings.
the kind of channel that we are. You don't get one. It's okay for other people to have one.
Want to grab some pliers?
Nope.
Go to town.
No.
Dutch says, do you recommend 26-inch tool chest from Harbor Freight? Looking at the black one right now for a tool truck box. I know a lot of guys actually who use it, for, at least the top part. Use the top part of that box for tool trucks right now. I've seen tow trucks that use it. They bolt it. You're throwing fur at me, woman.
Whatever.
Who bolt it on the side right behind the cab and have it for easy access. What I've heard is that they're great, but you do need to stay on top of the rails because over 20 to 30,000 miles of shaking full of heavy tools, they can work themselves free. There are mods for reinforcing those rails with higher end rivets. You may want to look into that.
Daughter of Ross says, Tiger King is supposed to be based on a true story, but it does not look at all sides.
I've not actually seen anything other than I've seen still images of it. I've not seen a trailer or anything else. Simple Paratus asks, Mega Bear hugs to both you and your cubs. I look forward to this every week. That's awesome. So glad you could make it.
Thank you so much.
And that we bring some enjoyment for you guys. We love being here. We look forward to it all week. We have a great time. This is, as we like to think of it, as like Sunday dinner with the family, and you all get to be our family.
Absolutely.
What'd you bring for dinner? The daughter Russ says the bell is now in Jello.
Yep.
Is that like a Jello bell salad or something? I don't know.
No, that's how she's going to silence it. You put it in Jello and then it won't bing, bing, bing.
I know what she meant.
Bing, 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 bing.
How often do you see bears in Montana? I've only seen them in Yellowstone. I have only once seen bears while in Montana. The older cub and I were out and we saw 2 grizzlies, not too far from town. It was quite and it was like a minute after seeing a wolf. So it was quite an outing. We've not seen anything quite that intense since then. We've seen I've seen grizzlies and black bears in Yellowstone a few times.
Phil Anderson said, I converted my kids' Power Wheels to Ryobi 18 volt and that thing books. I
That's
can
awesome.
believe it.
Phil, you should send us a picture of
Yes.
your back deck. He built, he's a welder. And when I talk about people I know who are professional welders, he's one of the people I talk about.
He's awesome.
And he built a back deck that is only the way somebody who welds a lot would do. That's all I can say about it. Dutch says, I answered that one. Steven says, cue Gordy LaFreight. Very nice. And
Brad's Workbench says, would you believe I had my eyebrow and my tongue pierced when I was in my early 20s? Yes, I would absolutely believe that.
who said that?
Brad's Workbench.
Oh, that explains so much. Just like
Don't listen to him.
epiphany.
He doesn't like ladies who have tattoos either, so I don't know why you're even tripping.
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 Oh, I can't say the next part. Robert says I'm
Yep,
gonna
that's
have
right.
to order a Flowbee because I'm starting to look like Sasquatch.
You know that I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but Pink decided to drink and cut her own hair because
Why not?
she thought she would be fantastic. If you have not watched the video that she has, it's hilarious and it makes me love her even more. So go check it out. But I think there's going to be a whole lot of, you know what? Hold my beer. I can cut my hair. That's happening all around America right now.
I'd like to point out that I cut my hair at least once a week. And I've been doing it for long. And I do a fabulous job of it.
That's right. Are you suggesting that you're going to cut my hair like yours?
No. Well, that'd be a good excuse for that blonde wig I've been wanting to get you.
Which they would not be able to deliver because Amazon only delivering essentials.
That's
and
not
they will
true.
not believe you that that is an
They
essential.
are not only delivering essentials. They're only accepting essentials to their distribution.
Well, that's detrimental to my story.
Yes, it is. Daughter Russ says that you sent her the mini sewing machine pic before she sent the pics of the masks. Michael says we're waiting for the zombies here as well. I think that maybe, when the vaccine gets tested, if they rush the vaccine, that's it.
Oh,
Then you get zombies.
Brian Ivana. Sorry, it says, Mrs. DeBerry, you didn't do the bell for my donation.
You didn't.
I didn't.
You
That's-
are a horrible,
I
horrible guest
I'm
host.
a terrible person.
You're fired.
Wait, I'm getting paid.
I didn't say you were getting paid.
Oh, I'm just getting fired. Oh, okay.
How would you think that?
Sorry. $20 super chat. Bing, 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 bing. You got extras because I didn't do it before because I'm there's the coronavirus happening. That's what I'm going to blame it on.
I didn't make it in time for my Brad's Workbench sponsored
Anti-cowbell. You
Anti-
can't see because of the glare.
anti-cowbell hearing protection from Harbor Freight.
That's right.
Just so you know, he's also the person who sent us the cowbell. Not this. This is the desktop bell. This was sent by somebody else. A friend who actually works at Harbor Freight. So you can blame Harbor Freight for that one as well. And let's see here. The zombies are progressive career politicians and mainstream media. Fact. Mainstream media is melting down right now. They are getting laid off and now saying that people can't get the truth because they're getting laid off. They're getting laid off because no one's watching them. And part of it is because they were complaining about Trump not doing all these live, doing press conferences or whatever. Now he's doing them all live, and nobody has to go through the mainstream media to hear them. They just watch them live, and they don't need to have it interpreted for them. Yeah, it's bad times to be a journalist right now. Zaphiel and Halon Wolf are having wolfy kind of moments. Let's see here. Bart Foster says, my household has been working on masks too. My girlfriend has 5 sewing machines and 2 sergers.
Yep.
Oh, serger. Okay. Good to put them to work, and several people and companies have donated material. That's awesome. If I had the space, I actually, believe it or not, I like to sew with a sewing machine. It's one of those Zen kind of tasks that I can just tunnel focus into and really become one with the work. And I actually really enjoy it. I don't make smocks and garments and stuff. I usually end up making guy kind of stuff, work aprons, punching bags. I made cushions for my sailboat, that kind of stuff. Do you think Harbor Freight will ever give steep discount? Oh, we talked about that one.
Yep. We're behind. I don't know if you know that.
I'm not that far behind, honestly. Well, wait, it just jumped on me. No, I'm really far behind.
Yeah, you're really far
Okay,
behind.
well, maybe if somebody stops interrupting me, we can do a rush. Let's see if we can catch up here.
Okay, I'll stop
W.
talking.
Cutter says, thanks, my wife is a GNA. That's awesome. Congrats to her. Colin says, shout out to all the awesome nurses dealing with this insanity. Nick says, I just collected all my miniatures in one place. Now I wish I had bought for only one army or maybe one game. $150, 4 games, 0 collections. Large enough for tournament store play.
Oh.
And you got to be a real geek to understand that whole sentence. Trent says, almost forgot my key to customer service sucks. Thank you very much, Trent. Barbecue76 says, don't even have a teen kid. Just trust me on this one. I've heard. I have one, unfortunately. Zaffio says, girlfriend wanted to buy one of those glass scales. My toes regret it, and I'll fear shattering it every time. This one is not glass, but it's glass-like. But the glass scales do scare me because you get out of the shower, you want to step on the scale or something. And,
You kind of think
bad.
you might die.
Fred Hill says, due to age and medical conditions, I've been home for 2 weeks now, due to having warning signs. I'm stuck here for. Well, I think we read this one already, didn't we? Sorry. Thank goodness we'll have about 80 gallons of hand sanitizer at work. And Golf and Gun says, cute dog. She is very cute. She was so concerned that there was food in the other room. She didn't even want to come up and say hi until I took her collar away from her. And then she came up to me like,
Please put it back on.
am I a bad hound?
Please put it back on.
That was the most subdued Labradogs I've ever seen. She was, when she thinks there's food in the other room, she's like, hi, Dad, gotta go. Like, she just comes up. She's like, okay, pet, bye.
She's like, that's nice. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. She's like, I love you. Really, I do. But there's food in the other room. Do you know about food? Have you heard the scripture of food?
Yes. The holy message
The
of
holy
food.
message of food. Great channel. Says, yeah, man. Thank you so much. Amax says, thanks for the Sunday chat. Just started my self-quarantine this weekend. Love the distraction. Sorry you're having to quarantine, but glad we can be here to help entertain your weekend, lighten everything up. J. Rob says, got everything on Craig, looking to heavily invest in them. Craig, hold on, I gotta look this up here.
While you're doing that, Brad's Workbench says, oh, I have to read it, otherwise it's not
Is this Craig Tools you're talking about? I mean, they make great tools. They're really expensive, but great tools.
Brad's Workbench says, scoffs at the thought of me with an eyebrow ring, and 2 minutes later he admits he enjoys sewing. That's right.
I do enjoy sewing.
That's why I say don't listen to him in that regard.
I don't like face modifications.
Really?
Steven says, I think the camera is slowly rotating to the left. And I'm sure that it is. That's why we're raising money for new. Yep, see, it just did it. We're raising money for a new camera because the part that holds, it's got a rubber base.
I think that you just want all
I need to
of the
fix it.
attention. And so you've set it.
I don't need to want it. The camera's giving it to me because it knows I'm the pretty one. Because I'm pretty. I'm so pretty. Just so pretty.
Okay, no, we already
and
learned
witty and
that
bright.
you should stop singing. Mm-hmm.
Leonard Trickamore says, mine was too smart, laid down till it quit beeping, then left the yard. Dogs are smarter than we give them credit for. Our dog is wicked smart.
She can spell.
She plays dumb. Then you look at her like, you know what I'm talking about. She'll go, I know. And she'll slink off. I'm like,
yeah. She likes to try to trick people into thinking that she hasn't been fed.
She'll do the happy dinner dance, and you look at her and you go, I know you got fed. And her ears will drop, and she'll be like, dang. And she'll slink off.
Yep.
Jennifer White Wolf says, 5 dogs sleeping. Zzz. Wait till dinner time. Wolf and Barky's then. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You were testing the wrong collar. I tried one myself, too. 1, nada. 2, tingle. 3, buzz. 4, oh my. 5, wow. 6 to 10, untested. Now, I was holding it in my hand, though. Were you actually putting the collar on? Because I wouldn't do that. Brad said, oh, that's one I just read. Ed the Tech Guy, 279 people watching, only 160 likes. What did I tell you, people? Don't touch that like button. People will know. They'll find out about us. Then we'll all be busted. The jig will be up. People will know.
That's right.
We'll have normies in here. It'll be terrible.
Good night, Jehu.
Good night, sir. And Elkfist says self-tapping but not self-drilling like for sheet metal. There you go. Yeah, most of the stuff I do in concrete has always been in
Writing
like,
your name.
well, there's that too. Is in drilling out and then putting in either a chemical or a physical anchor and then putting a bolt into that. I haven't done a lot with smaller screws and stuff like that. Christina Marie says, okay, we talked about Christina Marie. Dude McMahon says, speaking of student discounts, do you know if Lowe's is going to continue the Craftsman student discount the Sears had? No.
But I do think that Lowe's has quite a number of their own programs. So I would say look into them. I know that they...
No, and no. Lowe's does not own Craftsman. Craftsman is owned by Stanley Black & Decker. Lowe's has nothing to do with it. Did you want to add something now?
My comment wasn't about Craftsman.
Well, his comment was, so...
But his comment was about student discounts. So I was saying...
For Craftsman. Moving on.
Yeah, because... Yep.
Ed the Otech guy says, self-tapping screws for concrete, I use Tapcon. If it's a large bolt, I use the metal inserts that go in the concrete and the large bolts to cut into the metal and hold it tight. See, that's kind of what we're talking about. Owens Jeep Stuff says, next weekend I begin my journey of the world of metal fabrication, and so I'll be needing to buy a tap and die set. Is there a brand you recommend? I do plan to use it on a regular basis. For regular basis kind of stuff, no. I do have the Harbor Freight one. I think it works great. I have only used it on occasion for, say, new taps. Mostly I use it for chasing and repairing older equipment where that's got cross-threaded, somehow damaged or whatnot. I've had to drill a screw out of or a bolt out of. So I cannot say, honestly, if I was using this on a day-to-day situation, what I would use. But if somebody else would like to chime in and let Owens Jeep Stuff, by the way, if you type at Owens Jeep Stuff, it'll pop up as an orange blurb to him so he knows you're chatting with him. Let's see here. Steven says, all right, everyone, I have to work in the AM, heading to bed. Good night, sir. Stay strong out there. Stay 6 feet away and use bear repellent if they get too close. Tell them that I've approved that. I'll give you a note you can take with you in the morning. Jake says, Mrs. Professional what? She's a professional.
That's right.
Is the missus going to be climbing on tables again?
Nope. Not that kind of channel.
What? Really? I got dollars. No?
We're not that kind of channel.
Mrs. Bear just flexed her Star Wars muscles. That was awesome. I was stunned. I don't know if you noticed. Stunned.
That's right.
I mean, I know she knows what Ewoks are. I'm trying to think what else we could ask her.
We're behind.
You're behind. Family channel, Mrs. DeBear. Family channel.
What did I do?
I don't know. We're right. I don't remember what the reference is to. Sandworms, like the Tremors saga. And don't forget Beetlejuice. Sandworms. Hit him, right?
Oh, my goodness.
You could do a RAM set for concrete. You could do a RAM set for concrete. Ronald says, I've been listening to audiobooks for the prequel to Dunes, and they're pretty neat. What does a good pretty neat? What does a good explanation of what's going on? If you like those and you're into like big saga kind of books like that, I highly recommend the Foundation trilogy by Isaac Asimov. That is probably my favorite book series of all time. Jennifer Whitewolf says, got to go for a little while. See you all when I return.
Yes.
And Robert says, I've been pulling wires, hanging drywall, cleaning out the garage, lots of other projects instead of watching TV. Gotten a lot done this week. Good for you.
Barbecue 76, $5 super chat. So you're a prepared kind of bear. Look up 3040 Craig. Unless you can tell me about it off the top of your head, I'm going to bet you can't.
3040 Craig, is that a whatchamacallit?
Sounds like
Like that's not a Wildcat, is it?
I don't know. I'm going to say I have no idea.
WW2 Milsurp.
EG. Oh. Haha.
Oh,
$5 super chat.
1890s. Smokeless powder cartridge, small bore repeating rifles. I mean, I knew it was a cartridge. I honestly, I don't do a lot of the historical kind of stuff. It's a good round though.
Thank you so
were
much
saying?
for the information. $5 super chat, and we learned something new. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you.
I'm heavily invested in 22, 556, 308, 1220, 389, and 45. I got rid of all my other miscellaneous, and like I had 454 and some 44s with 37, and what else did we have? Was it 260 and what else was there? Oh, 300 blackout, that was a hard one to get rid of. It was a hard one, but I'm okay with it.
You're behind.
Poet 928 says, I usually watch you at work, but today is the first day of my first vacation of the year.
Wow.
I hope it's a real vacation, and I hope you're actually getting to do something you like to do. Sean G says, I'm guessing the virus has gotten the YouTube algorithm too. You're not the only channel losing views right now. Yeah, I think a lot of people are watching. Here's the thing. If I do a video talking about the virus, it gets demonetized.
Yep.
But it gets a lot of views. So, damned if I do, damned if I don't.
Yeah.
Joe Smith learned a new word, gonger.
Gonger.
The J Who says, if no one is watching YouTube, why does it take so long to upload a video? That's probably your service provider. Anyone have luck with the Cobalt cordless with any extended period of time? Ben, I've had one for 3 or 4 years now, and I've not had a single problem with them, and I've used them quite extensively on lots of different projects. I really like them. Dr. Ross says, oh Lord, ROLF copters. Rolling on the floor copter. I don't know what that means. I'm not geeky enough for it, apparently.
That's right.
Citizen Scientist says, I appreciate your tool talk that you're still doing. It's a nice distraction to the state of the world at the moment. Not going to the hardware store anytime soon, though. I don't blame you. You know, curbside pickup at worst, home delivery at best. Yeah. Frank Landgraf says, I told my wife that the Bears are family, and she said, I'm spending too much time with family. Oh, Frank, tell her to come on, sit down, say a while.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to see the wife.
I got a quote for you if you're definitely a video game geek. Who knows who said this? Stay a while and listen. I can't do the voice here. Stay a while and listen. Frank Landgraf, we just read that. Joe Smith and Friends says, add Jesse.
Yep.
Tell Jeff to be nice to you. No, I'm not reading that. Nope.
Yep.
Nope, not being nice to you.
Happened.
Jay Who says, would you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Hi, neighbor. There's a great scene in the movie where he's on the subway in New York, and it's packed, and there's some kids and some adults, and everyone starts singing the Mr. Rogers theme song to him. And it starts off with just the kids, and pretty soon it's the whole car, including some cops and whatnot. It's just one of those things that when you thought about during the time when you were watching it, you didn't realize how amazing it was and how wonderful it was that we had that. Citizen Scientist says, also now we can clearly see the hardware stores and tradesmen are the staple of the economy. Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight are looking like good stock options. Thoughts? Harbor Freight is privately held, so you're going to have a hard time with that stock option. Home Depot is doing much better stock-wise than Lowe's. I'm not sure why. No one's quite sure why. Lowe's is trying to adjust. And here's one of the things. Hold on. I got to sit up for this.
Oh, it must be good. He's going to sit up.
I am. I'm slowly sliding under the table here.
You're not big enough to sit at the grown-up table.
Yeah, I'm just a wee lad.
That's right.
Excuse me. So here's the deal. The whole thing with this, why people are like, why isn't the stock falling more? Why aren't people more worried? Why aren't companies more worried? Well, Lowe's has been doing this thing where they've been firing or laying people off because essentially they're too expensive. They're people who've worked at the company for 10 to 20 years. They've got lots of seniority. They make exceptionally good money. Often they're the main breadwinner, if not the only breadwinner in the house. But they're working in what are essentially, and please take this for what's worth, they're essentially basic retail positions. They've just been there for 20 years. And they've accrued those incremental, it's like working in government. You keep getting that pay raise every couple of years no matter what. And they've gotten to a point where it's fairly significant. But the fact of the matter is, the company has to compete against other companies, and the government doesn't have to do that, which is why the government can do that. Lowe's has to compete against Home Depot, and Home Depot has been very mercenary, and they cut their staff 20, 30 years ago and went through this and cleaned out all the senior people and forced them to reapply for their jobs as basically entry-level people, and they do this every so often. Lowe's is going through that now, trying to pare things down so that they're as valuable and their stock is up really where it should be. That said, that's kind of what a lot of these companies are going to use this for. They're going to lay off a lot of their staff. They're going to lay off all their high-earning hourly positions. And then they're going to offer them their jobs back as entry-level or in a lower salaried position because, well, because of the economy, we just can't afford it. Even though we just got a, billion-dollar, bailout. We gotta look forward towards the future. I think that's honestly why these companies aren't freaking out, because they know they're going to be able to hire people back at lower wages.
Yep. Sad.
And I'm
but
not
true.
saying that they should do this, and I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying that's the reality of the situation that we need to be aware of and look out for in the future. All right.
Groovejet said, "Damn, I fell asleep. I'm back with the living now. Time for a snack."
What
So
was
you
I
do
rambling
sleep.
on then?
Just now.
No, I wasn't.
So I am curious what your snack is, but you were going to catch up and he'll tell us about his. No, not you. I know what you're snacking and it stinks.
Gobble, gobble.
Michael Glazer.
Glazer?
$2 super chat. Jeff needs to do his Hannibal Lecter impersonation. Bing, ding, 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 ding. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah.
Don't crush your...
I won't. Okay. Go. Tell me when it's over.
And I ate his kidney with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. That was a pretty good... I'm not great on impressions. Sometimes I can nail them. Clarice?
No.
Clarice?
Mm-mm.
Clarence? No.
No.
I'm not on my game tonight. Sorry. Let's see here. Halon says, love the Ryobi 18-volt line. Never had an issue with it. Going to get the garage door opener that charges a battery and uses it when the power is out. That is kind of a nifty little solution. I do like that. Let's see here. Tiger King is supposed to be based on a true story, but does not look like it has. Okay, we talked about that one. How are you dealing with home repairs? If you need a part, plumbing, or otherwise, do you run out and get it, or do you make do with what you got? We've been making do to avoid going out.
Yep.
We've been trying to stay home as much as possible. When I do need to go out, I order ahead and have either front desk pickup or curbside pickup, or we have it delivered. I have a lot of stuff. Amazon delivers a lot of stuff. So and we're lucky enough to be in a large enough metropolitan area where I think 90% of the stuff that we would order is pretty much next day.
Mm-hmm.
Ed the Tech Guy says, the Tiger King is a documentary and it is insane. My family binged on it and are doing it again.
That's basically what I've heard from everyone who's watched it. Zaphiel says, eyebrow piercings. Is he a pirate? Yes.
Arrgh.
Yes, he is. And Daughter of Ra, you can totally have the hair.
What is she going to do with your hair?
She wants
Do voodoo stuff?
She wants to have longer hair, I'm guessing.
If you guys like, so the older girl likes scary movies. So I'm like, fun. And she's always going, that's not scary enough. This isn't scary enough. So I got one of the scariest movies that I could think of, which is The Believers. It's a Santeria voodoo cult kind of movie. And there's some parts of it that are truly creepy. She almost fell asleep. She's like, ah. And then we watched Rambo, Last
Oh
Stand.
my gosh.
I had not seen this. I've seen the other
Whoa.
Rambo movies.
Whoa, is all I have to say.
It made me close
It
my
is-
eyes. She left the room. She's like, I can't. And I was glad. I didn't want her watching that stuff. It is.
Not family friendly. Do
It's
not
not
watch that.
50-year-old.
Nope. It's not
bear
It's
friendly.
not sailor
It's-
friendly.
No. That is just wrong. Not
Yep.
that I could look away, but
Yeah.
like watching a train wreck over and
Ouch, you
over
would gouge
and
yourself, like,
over and
you-
over again.
You see them getting
And then we watched 1917. The movie's fairly epic, and that'll leave you at the end of the day going, "Is it over? Oh, it's over."
Groovejet says, Clarissa.
Larissa. Let's see here. Jay Who says, "Do you want to hear something funny? Quarantine. If you don't get it, that's because it's an inside joke."
You two have been hanging out together too much.
I was gonna say, where's what's his name? Was it Tech? It was it Mr. Doughboy? Was doing all,
Mr. Doughboy.
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
Where is Mr.
he had some
Doughboy?
great ones.
Are you napping today? Somebody did mention that it is almost 8 o'clock and almost Adopt-A-Mod time again.
It's after 8, but I'm trying to catch up here.
Okay.
Jennifer White Wolf back. So you saw one of my totem cousins.
That's right.
FDJ says Mrs. DeBear was just doing as you directed and not hitting that the like button. Cletus says, "Why? Okay, we talked about that, Cletus. I don't know why you drive poorly made vehicles. Maybe you like them. I don't judge. If you want to drive a poorly made vehicle, you drive a poorly made vehicle." Mrs. DeBear, you didn't do. We talked about that. Halen Wolf says 5 a.m. comes early. DeBear, see you. Good night.
Yes, we will see you
have
tomorrow
a
morning.
good one. Am I within spitting distance here? I think I am.
Yep. Do not jinx it.
Blonde
Talkie,
wigs
talkie.
are essential. Citizen Scientist agrees. Bear One says, because a tractor supply company just opened near me this week. That's awesome. I got 2 free hats. That's even better. So if I messed up my hair, then boom, I has hats.
That's a good plan.
Carson's Exploring Channel. Hey, Carson, how you doing? Hi, I just bought the new Harbor Freight wheelchair and scooter rack. Oh, yeah, that thing's cool. We've got the motorcycle rack for the back, and
Yep.
thinking about getting one of the bigger miscellaneous utility racks also. Nick says Amazon is only selling existing stock of non-essentials, which is why I rushed to buy $50 more in miniatures. Warp says a buddy of mine's nephew has some piercings. He didn't say where, but he did say that he clanked when he sat down in the bathtub. A moment of silence for our future.
I love you.
Gary says, we have black bears out here every week up in northwest Wisconsin. So far in the past year, we've hit 1 bear and 2 deer. Wouldn't eat
Why are you hitting bears?
yeah, that's bear abuse. Wouldn't eat the bear. Deer, if I hit a deer, he's going in the back. He's going to be stewed.
Do you have to report
Steak,
that?
you're supposed to, but
Can you take this? I don't have anywhere to put that.
I know where you can put it.
Yeah, I just did. Gave it to you.
One thing I'll say is be careful around black bears. More people are actually killed per encounter by black bears than by brown or grizzly bears. I think it's because they feel that they have to go more all out because you're closer to their size. That's a hypothesis, but the stats don't lie.
Mark Sparks says Rambo needed more collarbone.
Oh!
You need therapy.
Why did you do that?
I didn't. I'm just reading.
Why did you read that?
Because I can't help myself.
Oh. I mean, considering the person he did it to, it's hard to feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for him, but it's just wow.
Again, do not watch that with your family.
Nope.
Nope.
Barbecue 76 says, this is your captain speaking. That is all. Bear One says, hey, Bear, do you know more about that friends and family super secret sale for Harbor Freight they make a list for? I kind of want to ask my manager buddy if I could be on the list. So each person gets to add, as per last time, it could change. They changed a lot of this stuff. As per last time, Friends and Family was 25% off your entire purchase, no restrictions. and you had to either work there or be friends with somebody and get put on their list. They can add 10 people on the list. That's it. I've had people add me to the list. When I bought my 24-inch cabinet, it was because somebody I knew locally worked for Harbor Freight, and they added me to the list.
Monroe, I think, has asked this question a couple times. How do I know if a bolt is too tight?
It keeps spinning
No. If it's too tight, how would it keep spinning?
because you've gone past the point of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That feeling of you're pressing, okay, I can go a little bit more. And, oh, that's bad. Usually by torque specs, if you're that concerned. Otherwise, it is just a feeling.
Good night, Novice Nick. He says, off to bed. Washed 5 autos today. I'm beat. Night all and
He
shine
washed
on.
5 otters today?
They're very slippery. It's very
They
difficult.
are slippery little buggers. I mean, how'd he get them? So if somebody else can answer that, I would love to hear that. How do you know when a bolt is tight enough? I mean, other than you get a feeling for it, or you use a torque wrench and torque to suggested specs. Brad's workbench scoffs at the thought of me with
Yep,
an
I
eyebrow
already read
ring.
that.
Okay, fine. Brad says pain, like pain in the neck. Are we talking about my wife again? Because that's entirely accurate. Mark says he swims like a boulder.
Aw.
Jennifer Whitefield says, if I try to sew, I end up in stitches.
Nice.
My mother used to sew and drink. And she would do like hand stitching kind of stuff. And then she would drop the box of needles in our shag carpeting. And I would find them with my feet, bare feet. It was awesome. Let's see here. Bear one says, Mrs. Bear, the camera is making sure you don't turn this show family unfriendly. Please don't blowtorch me. Nice. And Javier says, Lowe's just holds the Craftsman tools. They don't own them. Yeah, you can actually find Craftsman in a lot of places these days. They were purchased by Stanley Black & Decker about 2 years ago for $900 million plus royalties. And Bear is just begging to be in the doghouse or a rug set. You hear that, Bear One? You better watch yourself. And speaking of which, watching yourself, that reminds me that it is after 8 o'clock. So that is, of course, time to adopt a mod, because only you can adopt a moderator. So moderators are anybody with the blue, usually the name's in blue. They have a workbench like Joe Smith and Friends, our original OG mod, Jennifer White Wolf, Brad's workbench, Daughter Raw, Nirvana, and others. Most of them, I should say, not all, but most of them are creators in their own right, and we like to support the creator community here on YouTube. We're creators, and we've been lucky enough to have the success that we have, and we feel like giving back and helping support the rest of the community. So as a way of saying thank you for them keeping it family friendly, helping people by answering questions that we can't get to, and in just general being amazing folk that they are, please go over and check out one of their channels. Pick your favorite moderator, whoever it is who has made the funniest or wittiest comment that you've agreed with tonight, and go check out their channel. And watch one of the videos, give them a thumbs up, maybe you consider liking and subscribing. Also would like to thank all the support we get from people with the super chats like Barbecue 76 and Michael and others tonight who help support the channel, as well as helping us reach our goal for this fabulous brand new camera. So the camera doesn't spin and do other stuff and stays in focus and is crisp and clear. And you can see the wifeykins here in her fabulous high HD antler vision.
That's right.
And we really appreciate all your support, especially those of you who have chosen to become monthly supporters by joining the YouTube member program. If you go to the homepage on YouTube for this channel, right over normally where you see the subscribe, there's also a button that says join. That allows you to become a member, and that's what gets you your little bear icon, like Barbecue 76, Brad Payne, Daughter Raw, and others who that's their monthly subscribers and supporters here in the Den channel. and they help keep the channel going month to month. And I really appreciate all of your support. And again, I want to support everyone who's out there working. Now, I mentioned before, we talked about the nurses and the doctors and stuff, and they're the ones really on the front line doing this, but also I want to support everyone who truly is an essential worker, who has to get up and go to work, where the rest of us, I'm blessed to be working from home. Many people are not quite so lucky, people who are getting laid off, and everyone who is facing this battle, this we're having as a society, and hopefully we can come together. But I want to say thank you for the people who are the essentials, who are out there working in food services, or the grocery stores, ringing people up. They're right on the front lines with them, and they got to see these people every single day. Lots of people going past them, and they have to do their job, or we can't eat.
Yep. And just a reminder, I know I would say most of you are like this all the time, but just a reminder that it is super stressful. It's a super stressful time for all of us. We're spending time indoors, socially distancing ourselves. And then these folks in the grocery stores or the bank or wherever you're going that are going to work every day are dealing with a whole bunch of people that are stressed out and making not wise choices and kind of taking it out on them. So just remember to say thank you and be super gracious. And, you know, we all have bad days, so maybe don't rip the head off of the person who loses it in the grocery store.
Mace is a good alternative. James says, Tapcons are great. I like Tapcons. Donna Ross says, sadly, people are still shopping to redecorate the home instead of just staying home.
Yep.
That's odd. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I'm sure there are morons out there doing just that. And remember to read Foundation in order. I didn't. Very confusing. Yes. Reading Foundation out of order would be bad. I've listened to all of Asimov's stuff. Ronald says all the Foundation and all the robots in the short stories. The robot, iRobot, and all that stuff is interesting, but the Foundation stuff is what truly. Oh my goodness! Do you mind, lady?
Apparently,
I'm walking here. Sorry. I'm in a Discord for stocks and options and stuff, and one of the guys is from Boston. He's got a wicked accent, and he does that all the time. He's like, "Hey, I'm walking here." And let's see here. Beer One says, "Would you recommend something like a Colt for a long distance hole punching for a first for a big-handed bear cave defense?" There is nothing long-handed or long distance about a pistol. The pistol is, remember, the first rule is pistol is to shoot your way to your rifle. That's all that is. It's personal self-defense. It's good for home defense. I do recommend them. And 45 is excellent for home defense, as it is a big, fat, hairy, slow-moving piece of lead, which means that when it hits something, it imparts a lot of kinetic force and does not go that far beyond that, especially if you use the appropriate kind of device, or I should say...
launching.
No, not launching, because launcher is what gets it there, but I'm trying to avoid the words so we don't get flagged by certain stuff, because we've been talking about it. I'm actually considering rebadging Den of Gadgets as a more catch-all kind of thing, because we seem to be using it for all sorts of stuff. And there's a lot of stuff about this sort of topic that I would like to talk about in there. So I think we're going to save the rest of this conversation for that. But yeah. I'm a huge fan of John Joseph Browning's work. And I think that's the seminal piece of the stuff that he's done. But we can talk about it more in a different channel.
Ouch.
How many Makita power tools do you have? I think I've got 5. I was just thinking about that over the last question. I'm pretty sure I've got 5. Groovejet says, but I don't have them all here. I have, I think I've got 2 here, and I've got 3 in Montana. And one of them is a very old, like 10-inch miter saw that still runs perfectly. Still loving the fact that Ricky likes helping to load and unload the dryer.
Just keep encouraging that.
Yep.
Because it's a super useful skill to have.
Then we've got Donna Russ says, my family, dad's generation, was so large Then I was nearly to the big kids table, then had my son, so back to the kids table.
I hear ya.
So close.
You could
So
see
close.
it. You could almost taste it, and then nope.
Yeah. Yeah, my family was so small there was just one table. And they still didn't let me sit at it. Nose Nick says, I've been using the wheeled 3-shelf cart for holding all of my auto detailing gear. Great for use. For my use, thought I'd let you know. Thank you so much. I love getting feedback by people, not just Harbor Freight, any kind of tools, because there's only one of me and one of the bear, and we can only test so much ourselves. So I love getting feedback from people, letting me know that, hey, I used this and it worked, or hey, I used this and it didn't work. But I also like the understanding, and here's what I used it for, and here's why I think it worked or did not work.
Solar to Go said, back to work at the hospital tomorrow at 6:15 a.m. We have active COVID cases there, including some staff. So stress levels are high night all. And then a number of people were saying, just stay safe and take care of yourself and get rest, please.
Brian says, thanks for the words on the Admiral sliding miter saw. Love it so far. What are your thoughts on an entry riding mower? Love you guys. I am not the person to talk about riding mowers.
Joe?
I don't have a yard here in Vegas, and we do have a yard in Montana, but the area that gets mowed is actually relatively small. So Joe Smith and friends, other people who want to chime in with riding mowers, that kind of stuff, please feel free to do so. Ed the Tech Guy says, in the movie about Fred Rogers, one of my favorite lines was, don't you dare call him a saint. I don't like it, and neither does he. He works at this every day. I do. I agree with that, because it's so easy to call somebody a saint. People do that to dismiss stuff. They're like, well, aren't you little Miss Perfect? Or aren't you just so perfect? I wish I could be as perfect as you. That is their way of dismissing it so that they don't have to live up to the standards set by somebody else. I will fully admit that I fail each and every day, and I wish it wasn't the case, but I do. You know, when Eleanor was out here earlier, I'm still thinking about that, how I could have handled that better. I constantly am worried about how I deal with the children. I want to be firm and strong with them, but part of me just also wants to just let them do whatever they want, tell them they're loved. But I know that doesn't, you know, it shows the kids that they're loved, but it doesn't teach them to be strong and independent on their own. And ultimately, that is my job as a parent, is not to be their friend and not to make them feel always loved and cuddled, but to get them prepared to be on their own, because I'm not going to be here forever. And at some point, they're going to have to stand on their own 2 feet and face the world just the same as you and I do. And it's one of those things that I may strive for perfection, but I never believe that I will attain it. And Fred Rogers is probably as close as any of us would ever think to coming, but still, he's a real person. And if you set him up on this pedestal, then it seems like he's not, and then you can excuse yourself for not striving to be that good yourself. Monroe says, how do I know if a bolt is tight enough? We talked that one. Christina Marie says, Trump announced we will be at this till April 30th, which is why my spy puts are going to be good. Anthony Hopkins is awesome. Frank says, he is fabulous. Chris One says, do you believe minimum wage will drop in some states due to stock crash? No, because it would be political suicide to drop the minimum wage. That's the thing about government. Government always adds to spending. They never remove spending, because no one wants to be the politician who got rid of something. Michael Glazer says, I did that just to see the look on her face next time she can wear the earmuffs. She can't wear the earmuffs.
No.
Let's see here.
Okay, what is a sweet chili tuna toasty with strong cheddar?
What are you talking about?
I asked Groovejet what snack he had. He said a sweet chili tuna toasty with strong cheddar and a mug of coffee. Clarissa.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Best Chicago story, common, you know you got one.
Maybe comment?
I can tell you that I got frostbite in Chicago. I was doing a St. Patty's Day or pub crawl, and it was freezing cold, and it was about 3:00 in the morning, and I ended up with frostbite right here on the end of my snout, and I had to see a doctor about it.
Edward.
Oh, but that's not the best one. I had lunch with Walter Payton. He was technically sitting. It was one of those tables where it's connected, but there's a wall that goes through it, and they have that divider that they can remove, so it makes it seem like you're all sitting at the same table. And I don't know if they just lost him or not put him back. So ours was removed, and I was sitting catty corner, so I was actually looking at him, hear him talking, and it took me a minute to realize who it was, and it was Walter Payton, which I grew up in Iowa at the time. When I was little, as a huge Bears fan. I grew up watching Walter Payton, scramble for, yards every single Sunday. He was one of my idols as a Cub. And I so wanted to ask him for an autograph, but he was having lunch with somebody, and I didn't want to be that guy who interrupts, but at least, he passed not too long after that. But at least I didn't exactly get to meet him, but I got to sit there within arm's reach of greatness. It was just made me smile just thinking about it.
Edward Sherman says, by the way, anyone have a 10mm socket I can borrow?
No,
you can't.
As soon as I find mine, you're welcome to borrow it. Gary says, Royal Garage Door Opener. It's worked for over a year now, and it just beeps. Cannot get it to work. Customer service is only open during the week. Don't get home till weekends. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry about that. Nova Snake says, off to bed, washed 5 out. You read that one. Has Red ever had to stand his ground against a black bear and defend his tools? Black bears don't care about tools. They're not that bright. They are the literally black bear of the family. And let's see here. Ricky Perkins, how are you and the family from the People's Republic of Maryland? We're doing good. How are you doing tonight? Bear One says, I usually find out a bolt is too tight either from the tight free spin like you said, or the bolt breaks. Yep. Ed the Otech guy says, you be nice to Mrs. Bear now. I wonder who he's talking to. And whoop, it jumped on me there. Chris says, love when the Baroness smiles. She's so pretty. You're a lucky bear. I am a very lucky bear. She does have a beautiful smile. I wish you guys could see her eyes. They're beautiful eyes.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
I love you.
Jan says, my local Lowe's has put up plexiglass shields at the checkout counters. Good for them. That's the smart thing to do, really. Salcedio Photography says, what's the minimum length barrel for a suppressed
That's
augmented reality in 300 to not have back in your face cycling issues? I don't run suppressed, so that's not really something I would say, but it also depends on the type of device that you're using for the suppression, whether it's dry, whether it's watered, whether dry or wet. But as I said, I don't run suppressed, so I can't really say. I wish I did. Wish I had it. Ed the Otech guy says, you had a table?
Sorry, I'm looking at PT said, if your daughter likes scary, have her read The Wolfen by Whitley Strieber. So I'm trying to look it up. Here's the thing that's crazy to me. Of all the things that have changed and the different things that we now have to accommodate, the thing that has really rocked my world that I was not anticipating is the library being closed.
Yeah, it is. She told me,
and
I'm going to the library. I'm like, sweetie, I'm pretty sure the library is closed. They wouldn't close the library.
Yeah. And the other thing is there's a really late book, really late. It was lost deep in the bowels of Eleanor's closet. And they sent us a bill, and I'm like, why do we have this $30 charge? What is this? And so she found it, and that was also about the time where they're like, please do not return anything. We don't want your germs. Don't send anything to the library. Don't show up at the library. Don't drop anything off. And I'm like, but I have this book I need to return. So, yes, that's what's rocked my world.
Just to be clear, if you look up late library book in Webster's dictionary, There's a picture of you.
That may or may not be accurate.
This woman, when I met her, had library books that were like 5 years overdue.
Totally false.
Okay, 7.
Totally false.
12? Am I getting closer? Like from when your
You're-
childhood or something?
You're moving on. Totally false.
I'll be burning later. It's nice knowing
yeah.
you all.
Mm-hmm.
Gary says no traffic coming into the city's I-35. It's weird to see how desolate it can be. Zafio says this 96-inch diesel Toro reel cutter does a great job of mowing Las Vegas desert. Yeah. It's throws rocks with the best of them. Yep. Let's see here. Casey says, hello, love the channel. Thank you for taking the time to find all the best deals for us. Hey, that's what we're here for. And if you guys haven't had a chance, join the Facebook group. That's facebook.com/groups/denatools, because there's only so many deals I can find, and they're always finding new deals and stuff and posting them over there. There should be at least a link down below. Let's see here. Oh, what was that? Someone says that they sat next to Bo Schembechler for lunch.
Yep.
I think so.
I did not know how to say that last name.
I'm trying to figure out like the famous people that I've run into, just like in regular, outside kind of stuff. So Walter Payton is one. What's her name from Dark Angel? She became famous. The little brunette chick. She was in Sin City, the movie.
I have no idea. I'm like the last person on earth that you should like.
Jessica Alba, I think it is.
Jessica Alba.
Okay, I met her briefly crossing the street, like right after the premiere of the first episode of Dark Angel. Mm-hmm. She was in San Francisco, and we were crossing the street late at night. I'm like, hey, I love your show. She's like, thanks. Who else? Richard Petty at the latest SEMA. Let's see here. Who else?
Peter Fonda.
Peter Fonda. I was like this with Peter Fonda, just leaning back. We're like leaning up against each other, drinking at a street fair. Wife leans over. She goes, that's Peter Fonda behind you, right? That I'm like leaning up on. I'm like, no, had no idea. He was trashed.
He was having a good time.
I was gonna say he wasn't the only one.
Jim Grady says, brunette chick, you have my attention.
Yes. Yeah, I like blondes, and I've never been a fan of redheads. I like blondes.
I love redheads.
Well, luckily I used to be a redhead.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You've seen my children. You know it's true.
I've seen our children. I'm just saying.
And then brunettes, brunettes are always where it's at for me. Who else have I met or seen? I'm trying to think if there's anybody else in any big trade shows. A bunch of YouTubers.
Christina Marie.
Christina Marie.
There you go.
Justin Dow, people like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Joe Smith and Friends, of course. Doyle Brunson. We met Doyle Brunson at breakfast at the Pancake House. The poker guy.
Oh, yes.
And he was sitting there with, I can't remember his name, but the guy who...
Binion guy.
Yeah, Jack Binion Jr., who's a billionaire. And I'm sitting there going, oh, please don't kill me. Or have your people kill me.
They were super.
They were very nice.
Yes.
Who else have we run into? That may be it. I haven't run into a lot of famous people.
Client Graphics says, I met you at SEMA.
Yeah, see,
That's
there you
right.
go. Javier says, my family had a table when I was growing up until I power bombed one of my cousins right through it. That can happen.
Oh my gosh. Gary P said wife got the corona last week, and guess
Oh.
what? Now I got it. Tested positive yesterday afternoon. Got to say goodnight to the bear family and get into bed. Here's to seeing if I wake up. Gary, please take care of yourself. And I am so sorry to hear
You and
about
your wife.
your family. Just take care of yourself and rest.
We'll be keeping you in our prayers.
Absolutely. And reach out to us.
Everyone, just remember another name to add to your list for your prayers for tonight.
Yep.
The Gary says, yeah, the black bears love bird feeders and sweet cakes. My wife yelled at a bear as it took her bird feeds in the tree line to snack on.
Pretty sure if the bear already has it,
It's his.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's like licking it. It's okay. I don't need it anymore.
Zaffiel says, if your wife likes serial killer books, level 26 Dark Origins is something that will give you great dreams. It's an audiobook format.
I don't know if I should smile or be scared.
Let's see here.
Oh my gosh, my shoulder is killing me. I have to go check on Cubs. It is their 9 ice time. I will be back.
Because technically they have school tomorrow.
Yes, and I know the teacher.
Ed the Tech Guy says, the Facebook page is amazing, deal after deal. If you haven't joined, you're missing some amazing deals. It's the best page on Facebook. Oh, thank you, sir. Christine Marie says, at my library, you can just drop off the books in the drive-through box. It's kind of like the post office box outside Warm Springs and Rainbow. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to calculate where that is. The roads around here do all these weird things. Like Lake Mead is out here near us, and we're on the northwest side of town. I was at the Harbor Freight down on the very southwest side of town in Henderson. I knew where it was, didn't really pay attention to the road. I go to pull out on the road down there. It's Lake Mead. I'm like, when do roads do this? To do a loop at one point? And weird. Golf and Gun said he had a 15-minute conversation with Jay Leno in Chicago, discussed Porsches and motorcycles. I would love to talk cars with Jay Leno. I would have a hard time not staring at the size of his chin, but I would love to. There was a great one where he's with, what's his name? Tim Allen, another guy I'd love to chat with. And they do a video on where Jay blindfolds him and then puts him in some of his cars and takes him for a ride and makes Tim guess the vehicle. And Tim does a much better job than I would have ever done. I mean, he does, the first one's a Mazda, and I could totally have guessed that it was Japanese. I would have gotten the year. I might have gotten the part that it was a Wankel engine because the sound is so unique on the Wankel. I would never guess. I just don't know enough about Mazdas to have guessed it was a Mazda. Jennifer says, did you get a new mic preamp to go with the new mics? We got it was donated by a friend of the channel, and it's the Scarlet Red 2i2. And let's see here. The Javier says, I really want to meet Daryl Earnhardt Jr. I'm sure he's got some good racing stories. Probably. All I can ever think about with him is his, is it the Mountain Dew commercials he used to do, or is it Doritos? He used to do some really funky commercials. I'll be honest, I don't watch NASCAR a lot. It's not I know it's not my favorite form of speed. Bear One says, red hair, green eyes are my weakness. I'm married, just so you know. Kryptonite, also pale with freckles. Still married, but that's me in a nutshell. Stop whipping me with your hair, lady.
You're the one who likes long hair.
You're going to get me all riled up here live on camera.
Did Groovejet explain what your snack was? I don't know what a toasty is.
I'm all the snack you'll ever need.
That's true, but you're not a Thai chili
I could
tuna
be.
toasty.
You don't know. How much money you got?
Not family friendly. Oh my goodness. Ed the Old Tech A, thank goodness you saved us from that. $1.99 super chat. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you.
She dings, I drink.
Oh my gosh.
So refreshing.
Oh my gosh.
That kind of went down the wrong way.
Yep.
Gary says, redheads, love them. Just don't get on my wife's bad side. If she's a redhead, all they have are bad sides. I'm
Gary
being
P
honest.
says, thanks for the prayers and the well wishes. It means a lot. Go take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And stay in touch.
John says, my buddy Jack Mike
Yeah.
got me into your channel. I have a question regarding one of your tool recognitions. Do you prefer Black & Decker or DeWalt for power drills? Really? A, same company. B, if I had to choose one, I would choose DeWalt. Let's see here. Client graphics. Oh, sorry. I thought he was talking to me. He wasn't talking to me.
Good night, Christina Marie.
Mr. Mooch says, Dinner Tools. Howdy. And Gary says, oh, we just read that one. Michael says, if you run into that many people, I'd hate to be your car insurance person.
Ba-dum-bum.
Mark Sparks, Steve Lato mentioned his book, American Murder House, on his live stream today. I love Steve Lato. I do watch lots. I don't always agree with him on some things, but he's fun and entertaining to listen to. And he has some interesting takes on stuff.
John McIntosh, repeat question. We're moving on.
And let's see here. Lena was super nice in person. This was in the late 90s. I'm trying to remember. Hold on. Read some questions or some comments.
Bear One says, Bear, we have a road here that's like 100 different names because it's a U.S. highway that carries on for like a ton of miles. I love that. A ton of miles. Daughter of Ra. And Ricky is now in his room as he was acting tired. Yeah. Some kids are like, will come up to you. Griffin was like, okay, I go nice now. Like he was like ready. Eleanor will tell you all day that she's not tired.
Oh my gosh. And then you'll find her
And
face
then-
first on the ground
Literally.
in the middle of the living room asleep.
Yep. And it looks like somebody hit her in the head. Like she was like knocked unconscious. And nope, that's where she fell asleep. Jeff Ingleston says, nice to know I'm not the only person who loves tools. Can't get enough, even if I never use them. Love the channel.
Yeah, I will admit I do have a slight gadget kind of problem. Like when I see, like I'll have 3 of that tool and I'm like, but this is a new one and it might be different and
yeah.
I don't have this one and blah, blah, blah. So I just want to cover. So we're talking about Steve Lato. So in my last career, as it were, I spent 20 some years or almost 20 years as the chief operating officer for a tech firm in Silicon Valley. That made me the man who wears all the hats. I did contract signing. I did new business. I covered HR, all the day-to-day running plus everything essentially. And part of that was acting as the, between me and the CFO, usually acting as legal counsel. And we read lots of contracts, did lots of interpretive law kind of stuff, and got into some pretty fierce debates with the likes of Comcast, with Atari, with Activision, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, and others. And always held my own and never had to back down, never felt I was out of my depths. And so I don't think I could have handled being a lawyer, but it's one of those things that has always got my curiosity. So I watched several of the legal channels, and one of the guys who I really like, who I think takes a great look at it, has a channel called Viva Fry. He is Canadian, but he's got a good understanding of the American system and whatnot, and it's spelled VIVAFRY. FREI. I'm going to post a link to it down here. Just a family man, a down-to-earth kind of guy with a great balanced kind of point of view. All right, so where were we?
Scroll down.
Redheads, they're going to light you on fire. Why do we park on a driveway and drive on a parkway? I always wondered about that one myself. Alan Van Friend says, which sockets would you prefer for everyday use? I really like the Tecton sockets that I have for everyday basic kind of stuff. For impact, I've got the Cobalts, not the Pro 90s or anything, just the basic Cobalts. I will say this. Here's what I found for most impacts. Anything except for the cheapest of cheap. I'm sitting here banging my hand on the table and it's turning and we're losing you more and more.
Thanks,
Sorry.
honey. I appreciate that.
I was like, why does it keep panning away from her?
You could just say you don't want me on the live streams. You don't have to. Really?
I was adjusting it and it worked. I would like to point out. Everyone can see you in
I'm
your
about
main
to get a
and
wrench
all.
out and adjust you.
Anyway, as I was saying, for impacts, anything from the basic Harbor Freights to, I don't know what it is, but there's something about impacts that I've seen plenty of snap-ons break and higher end ones break. I know a lot of people like, is it Gray Pneumatic? They seem excellent as well. I have to say I'm a lot more lenient when it comes to impacts because unless they're super, super cheap, they all seem to perform fairly well. With the standard sockets, you have a lot more talking about tolerance and issues with chrome and rounding and that kind of sort of thing. So I like the Tectons. I really do.
Ed, the old tech guy, says the cabin fever is increasing the romance I can see. I expect a new baby boom after the virus dies down. I'm telling you, like December, January, February, there's going to be babies everywhere.
Somebody commented on my Facebook page that most of those babies are going to be only children.
I don't know what that means.
Because everyone with 3 to 5 kids is stuck at home with their kids.
Oh. That's really funny. That's really funny. Yep.
Let's see here.
Oh, look, honey. CBD text messages. This must be the time frame for them to send them.
Do you get a lot of those?
Yeah, like
They always text me, John, did you know? I'm like, why do you keep calling me John?
They've decided that they like John better than Jeff. Ed, the old tech guy, said, I subscribe to Viva. Awesome.
Vive la France.
Moro S says, do you think the Chinese... Oh, wait. I didn't see the Javier Estrada. Nice to know I'm not the only one who was found face first on the floor asleep. Javier, I think it's slightly different when you're an adult. But I like your style. Your panache. $5 super chat. Javier. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you. No.
I would like to say that I've never been found face first asleep on the floor, but that would be untrue. It was due to illness, though, I would like to point out.
That's right.
That and the fact that back in the day, this is not currently, but back in the day when I was single, had no children. Okay, maybe not single, but had no children. That my usual cold remedy at night was a slug of NyQuil followed by a little bit of the turkey. It was a good chase. And that's, as we call it, the nighttime sniffly, sneezy, pass out on your living room floor medicine.
Groovejet finally got back to us about what a toasty is. It's simply bread toasted in something like a George Foreman grill and filled with your favorite filling.
Ooh, I like
I'm making
that.
myself hungry again. What do you call them? I
Snacks.
think we'd call it like a grilled sandwich or
Yeah.
a panini sandwich, maybe.
Yeah, panini, grilled sandwich, stuffed sandwich,
I
stuffed toast, maybe.
don't know if most people make them for themselves. Do you think Americans make them for themselves?
I do. I would if I've made like pulled pork like that because I got into it for a while. Because I'd also used, and I still need to find it. I've got one of the. It's like a Foreman, except think of a waffle maker that makes little tiny pies, about that big, and I've made some really amazing stuff with that. Let's see
Okay.
here.
Seriously, I did not realize that you were moving your mouse, and I'm like, why is the cursor going all over the place?
Do you think the Chinese virus? That's Morrow. That's kind of racist. We don't call it the Chinese virus here. We call it the Wuhan.
Stop.
Will cause Congress to actually pass legislation to stop outsourcing. No. Are you serious, Congress? No. There's so much pork. Why do you think that they passed a stimulus bill that spends like, was it $250 billion on Americans, but the stimulus cost $2 trillion? No. The Bear One says, Mrs. Don't threaten him with a good time.
That's right.
I will not be intimidated by the likes of you. Ha!
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's almost your
Daughter
bedtime.
Ross says the moment there. Alvin Francis, thanks. Take care. Anytime. Let's see here. Dave Francis had to laugh. Seen a Craftsman tool for sale on Publishing Clearinghouse. What? I mean, you can read that tool, but it's a short read. Man, I have not seen a Publisher's Clearinghouse packet in forever and a day. I used to love going through those things. I subscribed one time, actually. This is a funny story. I subscribed back in the day to a gentleman's magazine that people read for the articles. And I got a 1-year subscription for like $6. They sent me that thing for 5 years. 5 years. Because apparently they are more interested in charging advertising rates based on their subscription numbers than they are in actually getting paid for subscriptions. So if they have overages, you stay on the subscription.
Yeah.
And they keep just sending it out so they can keep their subscription numbers up. It was a terrible burden to have to bear.
It was almost unbearable.
Unbearable.
Yeah.
But some excellent articles, and I felt very erudite in reading them.
I was going to make another comment, but we're family friendly, so.
Also, you don't know what the word erudite means.
No.
To be fair, neither do I. Where'd I go?
Yeah, I don't know where you went.
Gary Michael says, bedtime, have to load in the morning for the Dakotas again. Gary, you
Whoa.
take care. If I'm not mistaken, you're doing over-the-road stuff. Stay safe out there. Travel safe. I realize you've probably been social distancing for some time, so you got this. Also, Jennifer comments, no politics, please. Will delete you. Yeah, this is not a politics channel.
Yep.
There's other places for that sort of thing. I mean, we can talk about how the bill is going to affect us and what we're going to spend our $120 or $1,200 and whatnot plus kids. But no.
Daughter of Ross said, when I was pregnant for Ricky, I did the free signups getting maternity baby supplies. Ricky is nearly 3, and I'm still getting them at a different address. I hear ya.
Edward comments, I was a Sailor Jerry kind of guy. Now, are we talking like old school tattoos? Or are we talking...
Where are you reading that? Oh, yeah, there we are. Yep.
Right here?
I guess.
It's on the screen under comments.
Don't you do it.
Anyway, Sailor Jerry. So they did a rum, and he's also well known for tattoos, as well as an art style that kind of came from it. I have I have 2 vintage tattoos, but only one that would be called Sailor Jerry-esque. You have a couple that everyone can see right now. That's kind of in that vintage.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of the Sailor Jerry style of tattooing. The rum was okay. I like my rum
Rum. He clarified.
like I like my Labradors. Dark and sweet.
Not crazy and slobbery.
Yeah, that too. I mean that's all part of it.
Oh my goodness.
Let's
11
see.
months sober now. Congratulations.
Oh, congrats. I'm at least no, I'm not.
No. It is getting to be that time.
It's close. We got 9 minutes and counting.
Yep.
Carson says he's going to be doing a review of the Honda HRX lawnmower. I'd love to see it. Definitely send me a link when you do it. If I'm not, I'm Carson. I think I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to your channel.
Yes.
So,
Although everyone should check because again, like the other day when we were on the Den of Gadgets, I was not getting notifications and I'm subscribed. So, YouTube, does its own thing sometimes. I was going to say something. It had to do with something that somebody wrote. It was a comment. Oh, Dog 43788 says, anyone in the Vegas area have a grease gun I may borrow?
I had one. I had the basic Harbor Freight hand pump one. It exploded. It's a terrible piece of camel droppings. Avoid it.
So, but he's looking to see if anybody has a grease gun he can borrow.
Sorry.
So get a hold of him.
They do make nicer ones, but don't get the basic one.
Yeah. Jim says Sailor Jerry tattoo story is really interesting. I'm assuming you mean like this backstory behind how that became popular.
Yeah.
Mark says I don't have my X-ray specs tonight, so I don't see Mrs. DeBear's other tat. They're both swallows. They're birds.
Do you know what the official bird of Thanksgiving is?
I know that I have a cast iron frying pan around
It's the
here
turkey.
somewhere.
What's the bird of the United States? The eagle. What's the bird of peace?
Jeffrey.
The dove.
Uh-huh.
But what's the... Okay. I should stop there.
Time to adopt a mod.
Not yet. Not yet.
Ed, I'm just reading what Ed the
Ed,
tech guy.
Ed's jumping the gun there.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
Nope.
He's in timeout. Go sit in the corner. You know
Nope.
what you did. Let's see here. I bet that stash is in a box in storage somewhere.
Stash of what?
Well, yeah, I'm like, stash what? My stash? Right here. It's beautiful. A little gray. Barry, you can't even say 20 minutes sober. Don't try.
That's
Shh. You don't say mean things.
like the truth.
Like hey.
The truth.
The truth. If you like rum, then try and find some bumbo. I got some from Jamaica, man, when I was in my pirate cruise last year. See, I can do a Jamaican accent. Yes, again,
No.
man.
All of
I've-
your accents sound the same.
No, my Jamaican accent did not sound a little bit, even a tiny bit about like my Russian accent.
Please do not encourage him. It's like music.
I can do my French accent, mademoiselle.
No.
Would you like to come over here? Have me sing you the song of my peoples?
No.
No. Actually, I have been to France. I've not been to Russia. I went to Jamaica when I was 18. Don't let your children go to Jamaica when they're 18.
Good night,
it
Wes.
will change them forever. Let's see here. Now I like Myers Dark Rum. I'm trying to think what other kind of. That's probably my favorite rum is Myers Dark Rum. I'm not a huge rum drinker, but I do like I like making rum. Making rum is a really fun and exciting thing you can do. I like the idea of caramelizing the sugar before breaking it back down and using it for pitching yeast and stuff like that. Not that you should ever distill at home, but should you want to, you can go to denatools.com/shop and you can buy either of my books for only $1 right now. We've opened them up because I know a lot of people are sitting at home. They're bored, looking for hobbies. So I've got the Home Distiller's Guide to Making Moonshine, Whiskey, Vodka, Rum, and so much more for $1 ebook version. And the ebook version of its sister book, How to Brew Beer, for only $1. And for those of you who don't know, really brewing beer is the first step in making or distilling a liquor. The distillers even call the what they make a beer. The only difference is they never put any hops in it. Hops do not distill well. They come out sticky and nasty and overpowering. You don't want hops in your distillate. So,
Bear One clarified with the stash in a box in storages. It was the
My
magazine
mother-in-law? Oh.
subscription that you
no.
got. No.
I don't keep stuff like that. Unlike some people I knew. Let's see here. The one thing I don't like is Mount K rum. That stuff is terrible. I know a lot of people think it's like, this is great old school rum. It's terrible. Colin says, just want to let you know my new cordless Grizzly Pro stuff is holding up well so far. So you bought that. You like it. Colin, send me an email at red@denatools.com. I have been kind of merciless about razzing Grizzly about those tools because I felt that they were what I refer to as a tier 2 tool, where basically they buy it off the shelf. It's a higher grade than a tier 1, but it's definitely not something they've spec'd out themselves. And I still believe that, but as to the quality, if the quality is there, the quality is there. So let me know what you think about it. I'd love to hear more information from you. It's red@denoftools.com. The West Sailor says, night all. And David Fry says, Wisconsin seems to like the captain when it comes to rum. Well, you know, if I'm doing spice rum, especially if I'm mixing it, making like a hot kind of drink, the spice rum is definitely the way to go. Anyway, so I think that's going to be it for tonight. It's 8:58. It's close enough. Before we go, it's time to adopt a mod. Yes, you too can adopt your favorite mod for free tonight only. That's anybody with a blue wrench behind their back. Anyone from our OG Joe Smith and Friends, Ed the Old Tech Guy, Renirvana, Client Graphics, good friend of the channel, Client Graphics. He's been doing some great stuff. They've been doing a lot of live stream, him and his wife. I think it's great that your wife is joining you on the live stream.
She's awesome.
She is such a sweetheart. She's a wonderful person. Donna Raw, Jennifer Whitewolf, and others. Oh, don't forget, we had him here earlier today, Brad's Workbench.
Yep.
Be sure to go over there and tell them that we're sure that he had lots of lovely piercings and stuff like that. Anyway, go check out their channel. You know, we like to support the community at large. We believe that a rising tide floats all boats. And as a great way of thanking the mods for what they do here on this channel, please go over and check out their channel. Like one of their videos, consider subscribing as well, leaving a comment. All of that helps grow their channel, because the more creators we get here on YouTube, the more chances and choices you have for finding good content. And as I know that we provide the very best content you could possibly find, but that doesn't mean you don't need more. So go check them out. Also, thank you so much for everyone who supported us with Super Chats tonight. From Michael all the way down, all of you who gave to help support the channel, especially for our new camera setup we have right here. Where's the little? There we go. Oh, there. I can't quite do it. There we go. Camera. I'm not good at this whole, kind of.
I have one last comment.
I'm almost done. Then you can make your little comment.
I'm just letting you know.
Giraffe. Are you an interrupting giraffe?
Yes, I am.
Interrupting giraffe says what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Thank you for all of the super chats. Also, thank you so much for everyone who is a supporter, one of the members of the YouTube members for Denna Tools monthly subscription. We really, truly appreciate your continued support. You guys are amazing. That's everyone who's got a little bear behind their name. Maybe consider sending them a message saying thank you for supporting the channel, because you get the free content because of that. And just a second, because the giraffe needs to speak.
I do.
Wait.
Oh,
Hold on.
Wait. Ed, the old tech guy. $5 super chat right at the end. I saw that. That was sneaky. Good job. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you. He's taking away my...
I give you the talking stick.
Gee, thanks. So, Daughter Ross says, what do you do at a green light? Think, what do cows drink?
Water?
He said water. Daughter of Ra, what is the punchline?
Go.
Daughter of Ra. I don't know. I was thinking it was like move. I don't know. Milk? What do they drink?
I don't believe cows drink milk.
Cows drink.
I've been around a lot of cows. I've never seen a cow be like, oh, I'm going to have a sip.
What do
That's nasty, lady.
cows drink milk? Baby cows. Daughter of Ron, come save me.
Those would be calves.
But they're a cow. Carson's Exploring Channel, $2 super chat. Bing, 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 bing. Maybe there's the answer here. I love how you said.
The shovel's over
She
there if
said
you
that
want
I
to dig
did
your
it
way out
wrong.
of this.
Okay, so you're supposed to get him to answer the first one, then ask the second one. Okay.
What's
So
the first
what's-
one?
It says, what do you do at a green light? Go.
Go.
What do cows drink?
Water.
Okay, what's the answer? Oh my goodness. Daughter of Ra, thank you. Jennifer White Wolf said, had to leave, back again.
Bourbon? I don't know.
What do cows drink?
Water?
I don't know the answer. I'm waiting for her.
I do. I've been around plenty of cows.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, thank you, Ed, the old tech guy, and Carson's Exploring Channel.
Well, we're going to leave this train wreck. Oh my gosh. I surely hope you have all been finally entertained by this exquisitely professional level of broadcasting here, brought to you by fine viewers like you.
Most people say milk to the second one.
Go milk.
No, the cows drink milk.
I know, but the first half you're supposed to say go, the second half is milk. I don't get what the joke.
don't.
Where's the funny?
I don't know. Oh my gosh.
I
guys
think
are
you
making me
dropped the
cry.
funny on the floor.
You're making me cry.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway. What am I going to say?
Have a great night and shine on.
It's such a good feeling. A very good feeling. Such a good, good feeling. Know you're alive, because if you wake up, have a happy new day. Oh, it's moved.
Thanks.
Sorry. Anyway.
Apparently, Daughter of Ra is calling me afterwards.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the explanation of this. Anyway, you all take care. Gary, we will be keeping you in our prayers, and we hope you and your wife pull through this with flying colors, as we are sure you will. But just know that your community is behind you, as are everyone else out there. We stand behind each and every one of you and hope you all stay safe, stay healthy, support one another and the community around you. You all take care. As always, God bless. And don't forget, shine on. What do cows drink?